Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Glad you can make it. We'll get started here in just a minute. We'll give people time to join in and got a few announcements I'm going to make. Talk about where I've been because I haven't done live in a couple of weeks now. And going to be very busy over the next 2 weeks. Uh, as you can see on the screen there's a big gun and preparedness expo coming up. Be starting Friday over in Knott County, Kentucky, at the Knott County Sportsplex. Sean Kelly from Corporal's Corner is going to be there. If you're familiar with Sean Kelly or not, Corporal's Corner channel here on YouTube has over 1 million subscribers. Does a lot of survival and outdoor related content. Really good channel, and I'm really looking forward to meeting him. Jake Trent from Buckeye Bushcraft is going to be there as well, along with several other people. Jason Hunt from Campcraft Outdoors sells a lot of outdoor gear, waxed canvas, haversacks, all kinds of outdoor gear for bushcrafting and survival. He's going to be there as well, and several of his instructors are going to be there. I know Jamie Burley is going to be there teaching a sheath building class for making a leather sheath on Friday, and Saturday he's going to be doing a bow making class all day. I'll be there. I'm going to have a booth set up, and here's a few of the items that I'll be selling. Made up a bunch of different types of ferrocerium rods. Got some with beads and strikers, some with antler and beads. Different sizes of those be available. I've got some of my fire starting plugs that I make. You get 25 of those in a little tin here with my logo on it. I'll be doing a video on these here in the next few days, showing you how to use these, but you can go over to Central Kentucky Bushcraft. He done a review on these. I give him some. He was at that bushcrafters camp out that I went to. Hello, Latoya, welcome in. And I give him one of these tins and told him, said, take these and try them out and just let me know what you think. And he actually done a video on them, and he went into some detail on them about how good they are being waterproof and how well they work. And I've been real pleased with them, and everybody that's tried them have been real pleased with them. They work really well. And I'm going to have some trapping items there as well. I've got some of the Duke 550 Pros that I'll be selling, along with some of the Duke dogproof traps. And on top of all that, I've got reloading supplies and survival blankets and just a whole bunch of stuff that it'd be the first time I've ever tried to attend a show and sell anything. So just have to see how that goes. But let's get this camera turned on. There he is. But I'll go ahead and get started on kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight, and that's common prepping mistakes that I think a lot of people make. And the reason I can say this is I am definitely guilty of every one of these. And maybe I can share this information and maybe it'll help somebody avoid some of these mistakes. But one of the biggest mistakes that I think people make as new preppers is they go tactical and not practical. Everybody wants to get involved with the firearms and they want to buy up guns and ammunition, and those guns and ammunition ain't going to taste real good, and they're not going to help you when you're thirsty. So, yeah, I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Firearms can be very beneficial for your protection as long as you know how to use them properly and safely, and you've got the skill and knowledge to use them so that you ain't creating a bigger hazard to you or some of your family. But yeah, everybody wants to get involved with the guns first, and you need to take a balanced approach to this. And that's why I've talked about in previous lives. You'll see some of my videos on my channel. To me, you need to at least have 2 weeks of food and water in place. Uh, you need to make sure your home can be secured. Need to have communications, medical, all that stuff in place. And to me, 2 weeks is a good starting point. Uh, and some people may feel comfortable at 2 weeks and not want to do anything else and say, I'm good. And that's fine. You do what works good for you. But, don't concentrate on just one thing and say, okay, well, I'm going to have a year's worth of food. And you spend all your time and effort toward that one item. And as an example, I just said food, you get this tunnel vision and you're only concentrating on that, and it's fine. Okay, you've got a year's worth of food, but now what about your medical and your communications and your security? So take a balanced approach, get you 2 weeks in place, covering everything. And then if you want to continue, expand that 2 weeks out, double that, make it a month, and then go for 2 months and then 3 months and stop wherever you feel comfortable at. Even FEMA used to say 3 days of food, water that everybody should have on hand, and now they're even saying 2 weeks. So, do what works for you, what you feel comfortable with. But, I've kind of mentioned, I've said it a time or two, and some people like it, but, to me, you need to be practical, not tactical. You got to be well rounded and cover all your bases. And then, once you get where you kind of feel comfortable with the food and water storage at home, then you need to start concentrating on how to replenish those supplies. And that gets into gardening and raising animals if you're in a location where you can do that. Uh, Even if you're in the city, you can grow quite a bit of food in planters and buckets and in your backyard. You don't have to have acres and acres of garden space to raise food. And, so that's something you need to start working towards too. Fixing turn wintertime here, we won't be growing no food until spring again. I don't have no greenhouses or high tunnels that you see some of the people have. I would love to have one of those, but that's just not in my finances at the time. So I'll just have to stick with doing it the old fashioned way, growing it in the ground. I think another thing that people overlook is really how much water that you're going to need and a way to replenish that supply of water. Water's heavy, it's bulky, it's hard to store the amount of water that you truly need. So you need a way to purify that water and a place to gather water from that's safe for you to gather water from. So that's another consideration you need to think about. And that's one of the mistakes that people make is they overlook just how much water they're truly going to need. The other mistake that people make talking about food and water is their food storage. They get their 2 weeks of food or a month or whatever they decide to have, and they want to tuck it back in the closet and forget about it and say it'll be there when I need it. And you need to rotate those items out. You know, use those items, run them through your kitchen, replace them as you use them, and not just get them and stick them back in a closet somewhere or put them up on a shelf somewhere and forget about them, especially canned foods and perishable items. And perishable, shelf stable stuff, it's good for 2 years, but you need to be using that stuff now and rotating it that way it's staying as fresh as possible. Some of the people buy the survival food buckets, and I've talked about those before. If you read on them, they'll say, oh, this is 72 hours of food for 4 people. And then you start looking at the calorie counts, and it might be enough food for 4 people for one day. Uh, to me, the best thing you can do is use what you normally eat on a day-to-day basis anyway, and get you a. I got it from Bear Independent, the 7 meal plan. Figure you out 7 meals, have those items on hand, and then rotate that stuff out. People, it's another mistake. They buy those freeze dried survival kits and they've never tried them. They don't know that if them or even their family's going to eat that stuff. And I've tried some of them and they were really bad. I mean, I guess if you're starving to death, you might want to eat them, but why put you and your family into that situation? You're already going to be under enough stress. If something has happened, that there's no reason to introduce any more stress by not having foods on hand that you would normally eat. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. If you're a content creator, you got a channel, and you can type 45 in chat. Nightbot will drop the link to your channel. That way people can go and check your channel out. And you might be able to find somebody else that you want to watch and follow. Go check these people out as they drop their channel links. And if you're not subscribed to them already, please do so. If you're new here and not subscribed to me, please do that as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. I missed doing lives the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I had something come up that I just couldn't do it. And then last week, I was getting ready and trying to get everything set up, and my internet kept going in and out. And I have bad internet as it is, but it wouldn't even stay up long enough for me to try to do a live stream. And I just decided to be better off to just cancel it, not even try it, because it wasn't going to stay up for me to do nothing anyway. And hopefully we don't have no issues tonight. Probably try to stay here about an hour tonight, unless there's a lot of people in here and a lot of questions and people's wanting answers, and I'll try to answer them as I can. Definitely no expert, but I have been doing this for a long time, so I do have a little bit of knowledge anyway that I can share, or I can point you in the right directions. But like I said, people all make mistakes. I've done it, done plenty of them. It's cost me quite a bit of money in the long run by making those mistakes. So maybe by discussing some of these things, it may save you some money and problems down the line. One issue that I had, and shame to admit this, but a couple of weeks ago, our power went out. That's a pretty normal occurrence here where I live. I do own a generator for that very reason. So I thought, well, power's out, fine. I'll go fire the generator up and life will go on. Well, I go outside and check the generator, and it ain't got no gas in it. And the first 2 gas cans that I grabbed a hold of were both empty. And the third one had a couple of gallons in it. So there was, might as well say, 3 5-gallon gas cans that were empty because I failed to go fill them back up after the last time I'd used the generator. So that was a mistake on my part. And, fortunately, the power didn't stay out that long, and I did have enough fuel on hand that I could have went a couple more days with no issues anyway. But, there I was cutting myself short just because I failed to go fill cans back up after I used them the last time. And that's the other thing about fuel. People keep fuel on hand for generators. You need to rotate that fuel out. I do use Sta-Bil. Anytime I fill up a gas can, I put Sta-Bil in it, fuel stabilizer, to try to keep it as fresh as possible. And I know once before, that was another mistake on my part. All my gas cans look the same, and it's like, okay, now which one is the oldest and which one's the newest? So I started putting tags on my gas cans, and when I fill them up, I put the month and date on there. And then that way it's easy for me to just look at those fuel cans and say, okay, this one is the oldest. I either need to use this in the generator right now, or I need to pour that fuel in a vehicle and then go fill that can back up with fresh gas and re-tag it with a new date on it to try to keep it as fresh as possible, because gas will go bad. And so it's definitely something you need to do. Hello, Gary Belt Loop 29. Appreciate you being here, sir. Hope you're doing well. And you'll have to turn that Leonard Skinner down. Of course, you might be at work tonight, so you probably ain't listening to no Skinner at the moment. But I sure appreciate you stopping in. But yeah, like I said, rotate your fuel stocks out and, keep that fuel as fresh as possible. Like I said, it will go bad over time, especially the fuels that we got now. And that's another recommendation, if it's available in your area, is buy the fuel that don't have nothing added to it, because they've got so many different chemicals and alcohol and all this other stuff and in the fuel. And if you've ever had a weed eater or a lawnmower or even a generator or something, just you cannot get that thing started. And you take that little fuel bowl off on the bottom of the carburetor, you'll see it'll be just as green as it can be inside, and it'll gum up your carburetors and everything. And then you might as well not even have a generator or chainsaw or whatever you needed to be using at the time if you can't keep it running good. Let the fuel in your Harley go bad. You must not have been riding it much. Yes, Gary, that fuel stabilizer does help a lot. I've had real good success with it. I use the Sta-Bil. Some people use the Seafoam. The Sta-Bil has worked good for me. What I generally do, I think if you'll read on there, it's got two sets of directions. One's for just stabilizing your fuel and one's for storing fuel. And it may be, I think they may call for like an ounce of that to 5 gallons. I usually put 2 ounces to 5 gallons, which is what it used to say call for fuel storage. And I've had fuel that's been 16, 18 months old in a 5-gallon metal gas can, a military gas can, that was perfectly fine. But I try to keep it from not letting it go to that extent anymore. But I put fuel stabilizer in any, if I go get gas for my riding, for my lawnmowers, my weed eaters, chainsaws, whatever that I'm putting gas in a gas can, I put that Sta-Bil in it. Hello, Nancy, welcome in. And it works real well. And that's another one of those lessons I learned the hard way. So that's why I'm saying, trying to point out some of the mistakes I've made, mistakes I know people have made that may save you some grief and heartache and some money along the way too. But yeah, I definitely let 3 cans go dry and wasn't paying no attention because I just didn't think about it after the last time I used my generator, and it could have been a problem. Yeah, I try to ride my side by side, but there've been a lot of times the battery's been dead on it because, like work and family comes before getting out and riding toys sometimes. But yeah, again, I appreciate everybody being in here. It's truly appreciated. If you got questions, drop them in the comments. If you've got a channel, Type 45 Nightbot will drop your link, and people that may not know you or be subscribed to you can go check your channel out and subscribe to you. And again, if you got any questions, please let me know. But and and I'm looking forward to this show coming up this weekend that I'll be attending. And then in 2 weeks, uh, I'll be attending a modern survival course that's going to be taught by Jake Trent at Buckeye Bushcraft and Tony Powers at Dirtbound Survival and Paul Hack from Adaptable Survival. They were all instructors at one time for Dave Canterbury at Self Reliance Outfitters. They're kind of doing their own thing now. Prices are very reasonable, in my opinion, a lot cheaper than some of the other places. And I'm looking forward to going to that school and getting some training. And I think after attending this training, it's probably going to give me a whole different perspective on bug out bags and survival kits. And that's something I keep preaching to people all the time is get training, whether it be with firearms. If you're into that, you need to be trained with them. If you've got a first aid kit, you need to get some good training and know how to use that first aid kit. And I think this survival course is going to be some really good training. And I'll be doing a video follow up on that after I get back from that in a couple of weeks. Yeah, this YouTube's kind of turning into a full-time job, Gary. It definitely can be. I went to that Bushcrafters camp out and thought I was going to shoot a bunch of videos while I was there, and had such a good time I didn't even get the camera out but once. And then I come home and had some things going on. Couldn't do a live 2 weeks ago. Last week the internet wouldn't work. And I've got some videos, got some stuff shot, got to get finished editing, getting some videos back out. I've slacked off on that, and I've been really trying to get ready for this gun show, outdoor sportsman show coming up. Yeah, if the YouTube ever gets to the point that I don't enjoy doing it, and I don't feel like I'm putting out content and information that people want to hear and see and helping people, then be time to do something else, I believe. But I definitely enjoy it. But it's I don't think a lot of the people that ain't content creators out there really understand how much work is actually involved with this. I know me trying to do something outdoors and film a little 3 or 4 minute video with it, that task, it would take me 4 times as long to do it because I'm trying to film it. And it's a lot of work. 400 shorts in the last 4 weeks. That's why they timed you out. You was putting up too many. And Nancy's Anastasia better now? I know I'd seen where you've been posting about she'd been sick. So hopefully everything's better with her now. Being sick is miserable. But yeah, another mistake that people make as far as this preparedness, they try to go it alone. They want to be the lone wolf. They're afraid to put themselves out there, and they're afraid to try to meet some people. And you'll see a lot of the bigger channels talking about having tribe, having a group, having people. And you're definitely going to need some people. You can't stay awake 24 hours a day and pull security and gather firewood and keep the house warm and keep food cooked. And you can't do that alone. You're going to have to sleep. You're going to have to rest. And what if you do become ill and you're the only one that knows how to do certain tasks? You need to have some people that can step up and take your place for a day or 2 or 3 days if that's what's necessary. Because, you can't be Superman or Batman. Batman might be able to make it on alone. I don't know if Batman can, because he even had Robin there for a while. So. And I think Alfred done most of the stuff for him. So. But yeah, you can't go it alone. You've got to have people, and the only way you're going to meet people is to put yourself out there. And I know a lot of the preppers and stuff, and I was that same way. You know, we used to have a really good group going in Kentucky. Kentucky Preppers Network. Actually, I was one of the board members and moderators on the internet channel that they had on their website. And but you know, we all had names, and it wasn't our real names, and you know, nobody wanted to let anybody know where they lived or anything like that. And that was probably one of the things that really kept me from even trying to start a YouTube channel. I thought about that for a long time, actually trying to do a YouTube channel, because I just enjoyed watching other people's videos and stuff, and thought maybe I could try to help some people too. And I started last year putting out some trapping videos, and didn't even mention the preparedness stuff. Well, then trapping season ended, and I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about now? Well, the preparedness was the only other thing that I really thought that I could talk about. And you know, yeah, am I taking a risk? Probably. There's crazy people in the world everywhere. The only thing I can say to that is, if you try to come to my place uninvited, you're not going to get a warm welcome. So, but yeah, you got to have some people, and you got to get yourself out there. Hello, Earl. Appreciate you coming in. And that's the other thing. A couple of weeks ago, as far as my channel and a live stream and all that, I talked to, by email anyway, a fairly large channel. I won't mention no names or nothing right now, but he's real big in the preparedness circles on YouTube. We have talked about having him come up on my panel as a guest one night. And hopefully we can get the details worked out on that, to where we can do that. Wednesday nights is probably not a good night for him, so, but we're looking into that and see if there's a possibility that he can come up on a Wednesday night. And if not, maybe we'll just have to pick another night and do it. But I think people would really enjoy hearing what they have to say. They put out some really good information too, and they've been at it a lot longer than I have. So hopefully we can get the details worked out on that, and going to try to reach out to some other people too, and try to get some people up here talking some nights besides just me, and try to put out the best information that I can. But any questions? Yep, started with gardening, but only gardening in the summer. Yep, that's me. I garden, you know, starting the spring through the summer. Sometimes I'll do some stuff for fall, but not a whole lot. Just depends on how much time I have and available, and how much stuff we actually already have put away from the summer. I like getting out and working in the garden some. Earlier in my life, I hated a garden, probably because I was made to go work in one, and I took it as a punishment. And now I wished I'd learned a whole lot more. And that's definitely one mistake we all make, especially being young, is our grandparents are actually trying to teach us stuff that they thought would be beneficial to us and help us later on in life. And we didn't want to listen to that. We wanted to go play with our cousins and not listen to them and not help them do things. And I look back now and wished I would have listened and learned a lot more than what I did. They actually did teach me quite a bit, but I could have learned a whole lot more. And, you know, people call this prepping and preparedness, but you know, it was just normal everyday living for them. And wished I would have listened and learned from them. But yeah, that's some of the mistakes I've made. And yeah, that was me. Didn't know any better as a kid. You know, we thought they was old and boring or just wanting us to work, and we didn't look at the fact that they was actually trying to teach us some life skills. Uh, you know, I've got a couple of videos out there on my channel talking about common prepper mistakes and overlooked items. Yep, everybody thinks, you know, I'll just, you know, run out to the grocery store. Uh, you know, and it's easy and convenient, you know, to run out to the store 2, 3, 4 times a week and just pick up a couple of items for that night or for the next day and not keep stuff at home. And that's the thing. Most people don't keep more than 2 or 3 days worth of groceries in their house anymore. And that's the other thing about the grocery stores and the box stores. They don't have a big warehouse full of inventory in the back of their buildings no more. They get just in time daily deliveries of trucks. And I think everybody kind of got a little taste of that and witnessed that firsthand when the pandemic first started and you couldn't buy a roll of toilet paper nowhere. You know, you couldn't buy a mask, you couldn't buy gloves. You know, there were certain things that just weren't available. And I mean, even now, 3 years later, there's still shortages on some items just because all the production stopped because they shut all the factories and stuff down, and there's still issues with trying to get certain things and certain kinds of parts. And so to me, you know, I think it's prudent to have some stuff on hand, stuff that you normally use, you know, and use that stuff. Don't just, like I was talking about, you know, people buy up their food storage and stick it in a closet somewhere and think they're good and forget about it. And then they go 3 or 4 years later and look at it and the can's rusted up and it's leaking, and you know, it's just money wasted. Whereas if they'd have bought food that they normally eat and rotate it through their kitchen, everything would be fine. Again, any questions, just let me know. I'll try to answer them or point you in the right direction at least. Yeah, that's me. I'd a whole lot rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I've kind of told people that before. You know, I hope it's one of those deals that after my funeral, you know, my son's talking to people and says, "Boy, Dad sure was crazy," but he had all this stuff that he didn't ever use. Rather than it be that I have to watch one of my loved ones or whatever suffer, and because I didn't have anything on hand. Yeah, I'd rather be the crazy one and never need the stuff. And you can do it. You can put stuff away and have stuff on hand and not break the bank and not go into debt and run up all your credit cards, and instead of, you know, just get a few items, get what you feel comfortable with, and have them at home. Hello, Enos. How are you, sir? I seen a follow-up video on that show that I think you taught a class at this past weekend down in your direction. I'm going to be attending one this weekend. I'm going to have a booth set up trying to sell a few things. Actually going to have a little bit of a few traps and stuff, some raccoon DP baits and things. But this show this weekend is going to be a pretty good show. It's not as big as the one that's coming up next spring as far as homesteading and bushcrafting. This one's more of a sportsman outdoors gun show. But there are going to be some of the bushcraft people there and some trapping classes going on as well. John Pingley from Pingley's Professional Lures is going to be there. Oh, Randy, appreciate you coming in. And there's somebody else going to be there that I don't know, I'm not familiar with, that's teaching trapping class directed more at homesteaders. Kind of be interesting to see what they've got to say. I don't know how much of the classes I'll actually get to attend where I'm going to be having a booth set up trying to sell some stuff. And I hope everybody will wish me luck. I hope I've not made a bad mistake trying to do this, but I think it'll be fine. And then I'll know for sure if I want to try to attend some more shows and do this or whatever. But I don't know if the camera will show that. That's one of the little fire starters that I'll be having that I make that work real well that I'll be selling. And I know some people's come in late, so let me put this back up again. And but this is the show I'm talking about. It's a gun, knife, and sportsman show. Starts at 1 o'clock Friday, November the 3rd, and goes through till 3 p.m. on Sunday, actually, on the 5th. But Sean Kelly, Corporal's Corner, is going to be there. Like I said, he's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Does a lot of the outdoor bushcraft survival stuff. Got a really good channel. And Jason Hunt from Campcraft Outdoors is going to be there. He sells a lot of wax canvas bags and outdoor gear, and has a place where they actually teach courses and stuff too. He's going to be there. Jake Trent, Buckeye Bushcraft's going to be there. I don't have his picture up here, but I made these ferrule CM rods that people use to start fires with. Made up some with little lanyards and beads and strikers, and some with deer antler. And I'll have those for sale. That's my fire starter kits. You get 25 of the little waxed fire starters and a little tin with my logo on them. Have some of the Duke 550 Pros and some of the Duke Dog Proofs that I'll be selling. Yeah, Belt Loop, Amy Sir's got a good trapping channel. He's got a lot of subscribers. No, Amy, I ain't seen your video of your class yet. They just did, I was trying to remember the people's names that, I guess they was the one that put that together. They just kind of did an after action video talking about how well they thought it went, and they're going to do another one next year. And they raised, I think it was over $10,000 for a child trafficking group that deals with child trafficking to recover kids. So that money's definitely going to a good cause. And I would have liked to been to that, but I've just been so busy, and that's like their fall trappers meet. I wanted to go to that really bad, but my truck was down with the lifters dropped and just got it back and still had trouble. And I finally got it fixed and it's doing okay for now, knock on wood. Hopefully it'll stay that way. But I know they said that they had, they's going to be posting some videos of the classes that went on there. They just hadn't got them all edited up and ready to post yet. I seen that earlier today. But again, welcome everybody. Appreciate you being here. If you're watching this later because you couldn't come in live, thank you. Appreciate that as well. And let's see if I can do this. Yeah, just let me add you as a moderator. I didn't realize that I didn't have you as a moderator already. But yeah, and I guess they filmed your class in, so I don't know. They didn't specify. They just said, you know, that they was going to be putting up a bunch of the videos. So, I know, like I said, John Pingree going to be teaching, you know, John, he's going to be teaching a class this weekend at this show over here. And all you trappers out there, if you still procrastinated like me and wait until the last minutes on some stuff, it'd be a good time to pick up a few last minute items as well. So, but if there's any questions, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer them for you. And yeah, we got about 2 weeks till trapping season starts here in Kentucky. So, but I know that's something I won't be able to do as much of this year as I have in the previous years on account of work obligations is going to interfere with my trapping time some, but I'll do what I can. Definitely got to try to keep some of these predators under control. My sister was watching her grandkids, my nieces, about a week ago out in the yard up there. They was outside playing. They're like 2 and 3 year old. A coyote walked right beside the house out there right in the middle of the day. So definitely got to try to keep those. Can't get rid of them, but we can try to keep them under control. Yeah, I'm on probably tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to film a video on these little fire starters that I make about how to use them and how they work. Everybody that I've given them to that's tried them have really liked them. And are you broke down right now, Randy, or was that earlier? But like I mentioned earlier when I first got started, Central Kentucky Bushcraft here on YouTube, I gave him some of those fire starters and, you know, just said, hey, you know, try these out and let me know what you think. He was at that camp out that I went to. Hate to hear that, Randy. Hope it ain't nothing major. And a few days later, I got a notification that he'd posted a video and tagged me in it. And he actually done a video on them fire starters and talked about how he was impressed and how good they worked. And so far, everybody that I've given them to that's tried them, they're really liking them. 4 hours to get into a shop. Are you having to get towed in, Randy, or just needing mechanic to look at it. Yeah, one of the guys I used to work with, I seen he's been a month now trying to get his pickup truck repaired. It's been in the shop the whole time at the dealership, and they just couldn't get parts to work on it with because they said it's due to that strike. But now that strike's over with, he's hoping he'll get his truck back pretty quick. I think it was a warranty repair on a fairly new vehicle, but they just didn't have nothing to work on it with. So, like I said, I hope it ain't nothing major, Randy. They can get you straightened out. Chinese government. We have to watch. We can't talk about certain things there about Luke. They'll whack us down. But like I said, that's some of the common mistakes that I made. Like I said, you can go watch some of the videos I've got, and there's plenty of videos out there. A lot of people won't admit that they've made mistakes. $8,000 3 months ago. Yeah, I spent about, I think it was a little over 3,000 getting my pickup fixed. So I imagine a big truck, it probably would cost a lot more. I figured Eddie might stop in, Devil Dog, but he might be working. But I don't know if these will show up or not. But I got them from Jamie. She made those for me to put on my little tins for my fire kits and fire plug kits that I'm selling. And they turned out real well. I'm real pleased with them. Hello, Skip. Welcome in. I got a whole bunch more of them from Jamie too, Devil Dog's Keeper, to hand out over at the show this weekend. And then I'd say, well, hopefully I'll be needing to order more when I get back. I'll have used them all up. That'd probably be a good thing if I got that many people coming by. See you, Enos. Be careful out there, brother. Congratulations, Skip. Keep it up. My wife went through that, so I kind of understand a little bit about where you're coming from. But the doctors put her on that stuff, and then she got hooked on them, and then they started changing laws in Kentucky anyway, and actually putting some doctors in jail for over prescribing that stuff. And they all got scared, and they wouldn't write them no more. And then they started these pain clinics. If you've ever seen them on the news, they used to talk about the ones in Florida, people driving all the way to Florida to get bottles of opioids to bring back where they was at and sell them. But she had a really tough time when it got to the point that she couldn't get them no more. And fortunately now she's off of them. And the last time she had surgery, they wanted to give them to her, and she told them no, that she was not getting back on them things again. She's she'll tough it out rather than take the risk of getting dependent on them again. So, but congratulations on 40. Next thing you know, it'll be 400 and then 4,000, and you'll never even think about them again. Yeah, like I said, Skip, it was tough on her, and she's permanently disabled. Got very similar to Parkinson's disease. One of the local quacks, decided that pain pills would be a good thing for her, and I mean, they even had her on them fentanyl patches at one time, and it's uh, I guess at the time she thought they was helping her, but they was worse on her in the long run than the conditions. But like I said, she's off of them now. Hello, Suburban Prepper. Welcome in. Appreciate you stopping by. And that's another thing that as far as mistakes that preppers make, or some of us anyway, we think about medical and we think about, band-aids and bandages, and we get a little bit of that stuff, but a lot of times we don't think about over-the-counter medications or even prescription medications that some people have medications that they have to take daily, and that's another item that you need to be trying to stockpile and store up and have on hand. And again, that's something that you need to rotate through. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make, is to get this stuff and they never rotate through it. They don't never use it. It's like, oh, that's my emergency supply. Oh, Eddie, there you are. I just mentioned you a few minutes ago. I was showing them the stickers that I got from Jamie for my I used the smaller stickers on the little like Altoids tins that I'm making fire kits in that I'll be selling. And ordered a bunch more of the channel stickers too to hand out at this show. And hopefully I'll be needing to order some more when it's over with this weekend. Yeah, I keep forgetting. You talking about you just finished your last job. There's a big time difference between me and you all. So I'm glad you could stop in for a minute, if nothing else, sir. Appreciate it greatly. I'll probably end this here in a few minutes. We've got a few people in here, not a whole lot. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're watching this later on the replay, I appreciate that as well. Suburban Prepper, you can type 45 in the chat if you've got some videos out there, and people can go and check out your channel. Nightbot will drop your channel link, and people can check you out and start subscribing to your channel. Other than that, I think about everybody else that's in here, we're all subscribed to each other already. That's great, Skip. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, go ahead and share it, Eddie. If some people jumps in here, we'll stick around. I know it's kind of slow, and that's all part of it, but missing 2 weeks probably didn't help things either. But 2 weeks ago, something I came up that I couldn't really get on here, and then was all fired up to do it last week, and the internet decided that I wasn't going to do it. Yeah, Belt Loop, I'm just waiting on that day that, you know, I can look over here and I'll have 45 people in the chat and 45 likes on the live stream. I think it'll be a while getting there. Yeah, that's great, Skip. Uh, we, that's we was talking about some of those things. Some of these sayings. That's one of the things. I think we need more tackle boxes than X boxes for some of these kids. That's great, Suburban. Peas, carrots, and garlic. Uh, I don't care much about the peas. My wife loves them, which now we grow the sugar snaps. That's kind of like the green beans, and she really likes those. Well, I'll grow them in the spring sometimes for her. And garlic is something I've never tried, and carrots I just don't have a whole lot of luck with. But I know my potatoes have done really good this past year. Uh, I got tickled at my brother-in-law. He tells me every year he's going to teach me how to grow potatoes. And it's been about 3 years now, and he ain't showed me nothing yet. I keep showing him big potatoes, and he keeps showing me little marbles. He says that he's going to show me next year, though. So maybe he will. Yeah, that's my biggest problem, Suburban, here where I'm at. Most of my soil is clay. It just packs up like cement a lot of times. Well, yeah, that's probably on a T-shirt somewhere, but Jamie could definitely make some and probably sell them, especially to some of the outdoor people. Uh, you know, more tackle boxes and less X boxes. That's, of course, I guess I was guilty of that as a lot of people, but people nowadays, I see, kids are barely big enough to sit up by themselves and they're already holding on to a tablet or a cell phone, watching videos or watching little kids' games and stuff on them. And we've kind of let technology be our babysitters now. Yeah, I've never tried the freeze dryer. Uh, I had an opportunity to get a really good deal on a harvest right, and I didn't do it, and I'm probably going to end up regretting that. Uh, it was one of those too good to pass up deals that I passed up. Uh, Somebody that I know ended up getting it through an estate sale at a really good price and offered it to me at a really good price. And I probably should have jumped on it, and I didn't at the time, and didn't really have the money at the time, even though uh, I could have got that harvest right with all the accessories and everything with it for about $1,200, and I didn't do it, and I'll probably end up regretting that. I didn't think I would actually use it that much, uh, but everybody that I talk to that's got them use them all the time. And we do a lot of canning. Uh, is our primary thing, and that's the thing. That's another prepper mistake. People plan on having these huge gardens and they're going to grow their food that they're going to need when something happens. But do they have the supplies and materials on hand to preserve that food? Uh, and right now, people might have one or two boxes of canning lids, and a few years ago, you couldn't find a canning lid or a jar or nothing else. And I happen to have mine on hand already. And of course, I didn't tell anybody that because they'd all been wanting me to give them or sell them what I had on hand. And I couldn't do that either. But, you know, you look at how much food you actually use, and then you think about how much of that are you going to have to preserve to try to maintain that level. So, do you have enough jars and lids and rings and canning salts and the items that you need to preserve that food? And, you know, with the freeze dryers, you know, do you have the Mylar bags and everything on hand to put that stuff in once you do get it freeze dried? Yeah, Skip, there was a lot of people, at least in my area, posting on Facebook, you know, that they couldn't find a canning jar lid or they couldn't find canning jars. And then people was trying to, you know, seriously price gouge on that stuff. I mean, it was ridiculous. Hal Robert, appreciate you coming by, sir. Uh, I mean, I seen some ridiculous prices for a 12 pack of canning jars and ridiculous prices for a box of canning lids. That, and I'm sure there's people that paid it probably. Yeah, got to think 3 steps ahead, and that's the other thing. It's so easy to overlook items, and I mean, I've talked about that in videos before. You know, it's the little simple things that we take for granted that we overlook. You know, with food storage, you know, do you have the different spices and, you know, recipe books? You know, we're too dependent on our phones and internet now. You know, if we want to know how to fix something, we just look it up on the internet. And, you know, uh, I know my mother-in-law, she had tons of cookbooks, and she could she was an excellent cook, but you know there were certain things she'd look it up in a book and cook it. You know, if she couldn't remember it, and she had all kinds of recipes scrolled down on pieces of paper and index cards and just different things. And I think that's some things that people don't do anymore. And they're probably going to come a day because people don't cook from scratch a whole lot anymore. You know, we just dump stuff out of packages and boxes, and you know we're not using flour and sugar and salt and all the other items, so we don't realize that we actually need a whole lot of that stuff on hand. Yeah, Skip, that's what I say. You know, we can all learn from each other, and that's you know that's the biggest thing to me. Uh, you know, is learning from each other. Yeah, a book library is a good thing, Suburban. That was another mistake that I made and learned a hard lesson. I had all kinds of information and files and stuff that I downloaded and had on a computer, but I'd never bothered to, you know, put that stuff on a thumb drive or download it and print it out and put it in ring binders or any of that stuff. It's like, well, it's on this computer. That computer crashed, and it crashed beyond any hope, and I lost all that information. So now, you know, stuff that I feel that's important like that, when I find it online, I not only download it, but I print it and I actually laminate it. I've got one of the laminators. I'll laminate it and 3-hole punch it and put it in a ring binder so that I've got that information, you know, at my fingertips and not on a computer or on my cell phone or nothing else, because that stuff might not be working when we really need to know it. And what you got, Eddie? Yeah, I like to laminate that stuff Suburban because uh, paper will draw moisture and the ink will fade on it sometimes, and bugs will get to it or whatever. So like I said, the important stuff I laminated those laminating sheets. You can buy them 150 and 150 of them in a pack. They're not real expensive. Them little 3M laminators at Walmart ain't real expensive, and uh, and it's a good way to keep your documents protected. Stay tuned. I'm going to announce it Saturday. Okay. I I might be back in time to catch it Saturday. If not, I'll watch a replay and uh, and see how it goes because I'll be at that show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the weekend after that, I'm going to a survival course for 3 days to try to learn some skills. And might be skills I already know, but you can always learn something if you're willing to. And there's a huge difference between watching a YouTube video and getting hands-on instruction. So, well, if it was thanks to us, Eddie, if you get rich and famous off of it now, you might have to give us all a little cut of the pie there. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, Suburban. You can't really do this as a lone wolf. Uh, a lot of people think they can, but you can't be awake 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what if you're the only one that knows how to do a certain thing? If you're the only gardener, for an example, and you fall ill when it's time to plant crops, or you're the only one that knows how to preserve that food, and you have a severe illness during that time, that could create a major disaster for you. And so you got to have people. Uh, I actually got an email today from somebody wanting to know if I knew about any prepper groups, and I told them no, and I really don't. I mean, that's the thing about where I'm at. Us hillbillies, as they call us, have always been kind of clannish, and I'm surrounded by family that they're not all into the prepping to the extent that I am, but this pandemic opened up a lot of their eyes, and they they started seeing things a whole lot different, and they thought maybe I wasn't as crazy as they thought I was at the time. And they're doing some canning and gardening and putting stuff away now, and so I guess I've got family instead of tribe. Of course, I guess tribe could be considered family as well. Uh, that's the other thing. I'm hoping that this will work out where I can get this other channel to come up on a live one night. We discussed it in some emails. Yeah, it's it's hard to trust anybody, and you just got to trust your gut instincts. I met some really good people through that Kentucky Preppers Network years ago, and they was just some people that you sit down and talk to them for a few minutes, and things just kind of click. And I think you'll realize it when you talk to the right people. And there's some people that you talk to, and it's like, I'm not going to tell this anything. They're trouble, and there's several videos out there. I know Bear Independent talked about it a lot. You kind of like dating your spouse to begin with. You don't fall in love right off the bat, and there's some people you might date them one time and like I don't ever want to talk to them again. You kind of got to put yourself out there a little bit and meet some people, and then if something kind of clicks with you, then maybe take it a little bit further. And then if it don't, just don't associate with them anymore, and don't put the information out there. Don't tell them where you live. Don't invite them over to your house. You're gonna talk to somebody and meet somebody and try to do that. Go to some of the preppers meets that's out there, or meet somebody for a cup of coffee at the restaurant. Yeah, see, you almost messed up, didn't you? 35 years. You've got me by a few years. We've been 31. Yeah, 35 years. That's a long time. I tell people I'm 31 years into a life sentence. Yeah, they're out there, Skip. It's hard to find them sometimes. I know there's a lot of people through the Viking Preparedness Bunch. They have meets all over the place. None close enough to me that I would try to venture out and attend any of them. But they are out there. I know that was the thing, 2008, 7, 8, 9, that area, that time frame, prepping was mainstream. That was the big thing, and there was meets all over the place, and then nothing ever happened, and people kind of quit doing it. And I think, with some of the current events and things that's happened over the last few years, it's starting to turn circle again, and people are starting to realize that they got to do something. That, I just don't think this country can keep going in the direction that it's going right now. And good night, Suburban. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night, a good week, blessed weekend, and we'll try to do this again next Wednesday night if you can stop by. Yeah. With everything that's going on overseas right now, really make you kind of start to wonder, it's, is the book of Revelation coming true in front of our eyes right now? Of course, there's been people thinking that since for 2,000 years now. But hello, C Daddy, welcome in. But yeah, things is definitely headed downhill, or in my opinion, anyway. I got some gray hair here and stuff, but I remember giving my wife $50 and her going to the grocery store and buying groceries for a week and her keeping the change. And it was a pretty good amount of change. And now it's just me and her here. Our son's grown and moved out. He's on his own, and it's $160 to $200, and we're not buying nothing. You pack it in one trip from a vehicle, and it's like, where'd my money go? That to me, that just can't be sustained. I just don't know how people on fixed incomes, are doing it. How are they buying groceries and buying fuel and paying utilities that just keep going higher and higher and higher? So something's got to change. That's for certain. And I think we need to be prepared for some really hard times coming up. I really do. Yeah. I know my son makes a whole lot more money than I made at his age, but they, they struggle. And he was telling me, he said, I used to live good and making less money. And I'm like, yeah, but now you've got a home and vehicle payments, insurance, and I don't know if anybody's went out and tried to price a new vehicle lately, but I just don't know how people are doing it. And that 25 or 30% pay increase that they negotiated as part of that strike settlement, that's going to be passed on to us as consumers. Those automakers ain't going to eat that 30% price increase. But see, Daddy, if you've got a channel that you're putting content out on, you can type 45 in the chat and Nightbot will drop your channel link and people can go and check you out. And if you're not subscribed to the people that's in here, there's some really good people here. You need to go check them out and subscribe to them. Yeah, Nancy, I remember making minimum wage. Of course, I was living at home at the time. And then when I got out of the military, I got a job paying $11 an hour. And I thought I was living high on the hog, as they say. Hit drop your link, Belt Luke, but I don't know that anybody would find anything other than, yeah, you've got a channel. All righty, yeah. See, Daddy, when you get some content up there, let people know. We'll definitely check you out. And I know when I first went to work in the mines, I was making $12 an hour. And thought we was doing really good. And then I went to 16 and then 18 and then 20. And it's like, wow. But I think my son's making close to 28 right now. And they're not poor, but they don't have a lot of extra money either. Yeah, I'd say I have more than two after tonight. Well, should at least game 4 or 5 tonight, maybe. But yeah, see, Daddy, it'll happen. I started a little over a year ago. Figured it would take me 2 or 3 years. I plan on retiring in 3 years. Maybe I'd have 1,000 subscribers, and thanks to a lot of people in here, I've already got the 1,000 subscribers. I just got to get the watch hours now. And I think the last time I checked, I need about 400 watch hours to get to 3,000. And I got to get back to getting some content out there. I've been slacked off on that, but life happens sometimes. So, but I'll definitely be getting some more videos out. Like I said, I've got a few, got the stuff filmed. I just got to get it edited and put together and get them posted. And hopefully I can get in good with some of these big channels that's going to be at this show. Maybe they'll help me out a little bit. Don't never know. And I'm hoping that I can get at least one of them maybe to agree to come up and do a night. Hello, Big Matt. Welcome in. To come up one night on a live stream with me and talk about bushcrafting and survival. Don't know that they will, but hopefully I can convince at least one of them to do that. I think that would be really good to do one night on a live stream. And I'm working on that big channel. We're kind of agreed that we'd do it. It's just a matter of working it out to where we can be together at the same times. Which I guess, if anybody wants to come up that I know, I'll pin the link up there. And that way some people can talk besides just me. But that should be the StreamYard link there. If anybody's available, wants to come up, you're more than welcome if I know you. And please understand that I do only let the people up that I know that I've interacted with before. And let's see, I need to make Matt a moderator. Let's see if there's anybody. Go through here and add some of these people that I've missed over. Of course, that one weekend, one live stream, I was trying to do this, and it wouldn't let me add no moderators. I don't know what was going on with it that night. But I think that's got everybody that I know and have interacted with before. If I miss somebody, let me know. And hope everybody's doing okay. Appreciate everybody being here. And if you're here on the replay later, appreciate that as well. We can't all be on live streams all the time. Well, see, Daddy, I'd say I probably know exactly where you're at then. There used to be some meetups down that direction. And, yeah, I'm very familiar with Barberville and know where Corbin is. There's can't remember the name of the store right now, but I've bought a lot of barrels and IBC totes and stuff at that little store there on 25 between Corbin and Barberville. Last time I was by there, they still had stuff, but I was just driving by. It didn't look like they had as much as they used to. I don't know if they've about quit or they're just selling a lot of stuff. But that's an excellent place to get 55-gallon plastic drums and IBC totes. Their prices are better than any place I've seen. But any questions on anything? Anything anybody wants to talk about? Yep, J&G. Yeah, like I said, I ain't been by there in a while. I was driving by there one day. I had a appointment down in Corbin, and it went that direction. And as I was coming back by, I noticed they still had stuff, but they used to have it stacked up all the way on the opposite side of the road and all around their store there and everything else. Don't know what their prices are now, but like I said, they used to have the best prices that I knew of. And there used to be a place in Lexington called Lexington Container. It was actually in Nicholasville. And talking to those people at J&G, they actually helped Lexington Container get started. And they used to have a lot of stuff and ammo cans and all kinds of stuff. And really good prices too. And then they kind of started getting too big and trying to sell everything new, and their prices got really high. And I think they ended up going out of business, actually. They kind of priced themselves out of the market. Now, that's the thing too. See, Daddy, I don't know, if you want to drive that far or not, or if that even interests you, but there's a big sportsman show this weekend in Knott County at the Knott County Sportsplex. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sean Kelly from Corporal's Corners is going to be there, and Jason Hunt from Campcraft Outdoors will be there. Jake Trent from Buckeye Bushcraft will be there. Some Campcraft Outdoors instructors are going to be there. Going to be a big show. And then next spring at that same location. Hello, Eddie.
What's up? What's up, Gary?
Howdy, sir.
Just got home.
Next spring, see, Daddy, they're going to be a big homestead bushcraft show at the same location. 100 guest speakers and classes and 350 vendors and a whole lot of stuff going on then. I think this weekend they're talking about maybe 250 tables of stuff. There's some classes, but not as big as the one in the spring. How's Eddie been doing? Working all the time?
Hold on, I'm getting some ice, so I'm muting it.
Okay.
I just stepped in the house.
Yeah, they seem to be real good people there. See, Daddy, very helpful to me. Like I said, I bought a lot of barrels and totes and stuff, them IBC totes, especially from them. I know I wanted some IBC totes for water, and they're like, "Now, what are you doing with these? We can't sell them to you to put drinking water in." I'm like, "No, I just need them for garden water." But they made sure they got me some that didn't have chemicals, nothing harmful in them that had been stored in them. Because all that stuff they're selling is recycled, or it was last time I was there. I don't know if they've got any new stuff or not, but yeah, $50 is what I paid for the 275-gallon IBC totes, and that was a whole lot better than almost $400 for a new one. me find that. I know Eddie said he's going to mute there for a minute, but I was going to show him them little 2-inch stickers that I got from Jamie. What I was wanting them for was for these little, like Altoid tins that I'm making fire kits in. And they worked out really good.
Oh, that's awesome. Hold on 1 second. Keep those up there.
Okay.
All right. I went in to show Jamie, and she said she already seen it. She goes, I was lurking. I got to go in my kennel because Abby here, she won't shut up.
But yeah, that was what I was wanting them smaller stickers for. She might have thought I was crazy for wanting them smaller ones to go with the big ones, but that's what I was wanting them for. I didn't have no more small ones like that. And I made up a whole bunch of these kits for this show this weekend.
Come on, you can come in. Oh, hey, Gary.
Sir?
I'm going to jump off here with my phone. I'm going to come back on the computer.
Okay. Yeah, Zombie, it's probably too big a drive for you, but that's going to be a pretty good show this weekend, and the one in the spring will be real good. But if anybody's ever watched Corporal's Corner, he's going to be there. And then Jason Hunt from Campcraft Outdoors will be there as well. And Jason's got a thing coming up in the spring.
All right, I'm back.
That's
Yes, Double Dog what, Gary? No, I wasn't talking to you, Belt Loop 29. I was talking to Kentucky Prepper. Very funny, Belt Loop 29.
But yeah, Jason's place is up around Frankfort, I believe, Robert, but he's having a kind of like a church revival bushcraft camp weekend sometime in the spring, I believe. And I might try to go to that as well. That's some of the fire starters that I made. Like I said, I made these kits up, and I've got a kit made up in the same little tin like this, but it's got just a few of these and a big lighter and a piece of fat wood and a little mini ferro rod with a striker.
That is awesome. I can see it better now than on my phone.
But yeah, those stickers worked out real good, especially where they were the kind of an oval instead of a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned out real good. I was very happy with them.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And so I'm hoping that I can get that Aftershock Preparedness that's got that store. Well, they're about an hour away from me, but they sell all this outdoor survival stuff and their dehydrated food line and everything. I'm hoping I can get her to start carrying some of these in her store. And then I'm gonna have some traps too, and some reloading stuff and a little bit of ammo. And
yeah, see, I got a long way to go. See, I had to go back to work because I'm gonna try to save my money here. Now it hasn't worked out in the 3 weeks I've been back at work, but we owe like $83,000 left on the place here, And so I'm going to try to pay off the place. I'm going to try to get a tractor. And those are the most expensive things in it. You know, a new or a used truck with very low miles. We've never had a new vehicle or anything. So if I can save up the money just as soon as I earn it, just bank it, not spend it on anything, pay off the house. Once we pay off the house, we won't have to worry about the mortgage, just insurance and taxes at the end of the year. Okay, Gracie. Bye-bye. See ya. But then we definitely need a tractor. We don't have a working lawnmower. And, you know, Andrew used T-Rock Vittles and such one time, his zero turn. Okay. But instead of spending $4 to $8 grand on a zero turn, because we got 2.5 acres here, most of it's wooded. Okay. And it would be okay mowing up here and stuff like that around the house and stuff. But if the thing is it would be more useful just to put that 4 to 8 grand, whatever a zero turn would cost. And I'm tired of getting other people's junk. Okay. I bought a riding lawnmower off OfferUp, ran it like 2 or 3 times. Andrew was on it and it broke down and it's been sitting back there. And then I bought like a couple push mowers. They both broke down or whatever. So I'm tired of buying people's junk that breaks down or don't work. I want to get a new one so I ain't got to worry about that stuff. Ultra MAGA Patriot.
Hello, Ultra. Welcome in. Glad you made it in. Hope everything's good.
And so that's my intent. That's my plans and stuff like that. And then plus, you know, clearing stuff out around here, everything else, a front end loader, tractor, you know, and hopefully I could get like and it don't got to be a big tractor, you know, just one that has a brush hog or whatever that I can do if I decide to try to garden again or whatever. I'm not having very much luck last year and this year at gardening. I've grown like 4 bell peppers, and the first 2, Gary said, "Oh, pluck those off where they're real small before they're ready, and it'll grow bigger or more or whatever." I got 2 more.
That.
Yeah, I got 2 more, and that's it. So I wasted 2 bell peppers. Anyways, but if I decide to, you know, do it in there, hoe it in the ground or whatever, greenhouse, you know, leveling, just a bunch of stuff a tractor would be useful around here. But for, you know, for like
one, but 90% of my property here is mountainside, so it just wouldn't really be that much benefit to me. Which I'd said that one of my coworkers, he bought one of the little John Deere 1020s with the loader on it, and I think he's got the deck mower probably.
Well, see, I think yeah, what I think is I think John Deere's are more expensive than like Kubotas or something like that. So I don't have to have a John Deere, but like for 15-20 grand, you know, that 4 to 8 grand I spent on a riding lawnmower, zero turn, I could just wait a little bit longer because my yard, you know, I don't have a HOA or anything like that out here. I mean, my weeds were taller than me this summer.
Do you have Rural Kings?
See that. Do I have what?
Rural Kings.
I don't know what Rural King.
It's like a Tractor Supply.
No, we got Tractor Supply. I don't know if we have Rural Kings.
Yeah, Rural Kings. See, they've got their line of tractors called the RKs. Which they're probably made in China, but they're, you know, even cheaper than Kubota or John Deere or anybody. And I've never heard anybody say anything bad about them. And they're a whole lot cheaper, and you can get, you know, so many different attachments on them. That's the thing about, you know, the other thing about a tractor, you got to make sure you get one
with a PTO,
with the PTO power to run a tiller if it's intent that you use it for. Because some of them, they won't run a tiller. They just don't have the PTO power.
Yeah, even if I could get, you know, buy like an attachment at a time, get a tractor with a front end loader, a brush hog, and probably the bucket on the back. I forget what it's called.
Backhoe.
Yeah, backhoe. You know, even if I can get one like that, and then get like a post hole digger attachment and a not leveler, freaking what you level out ground with.
Box
I've been,
blade.
yeah, box blade. See, my brain shot today.
But yeah, my coworker bought one. I told him, I said, I'd like to have one, but I don't know that I'd use it that much. He said, you'd be surprised how much you use it once you get one.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and as long as you take care of it, oil changes, maintenance, everything else, it would last me probably the rest of my life and everything else. I mean, look, there's 1960, 70 tractors that still run good and everything else. I mean,
yeah, because they're not like a car. You're not out here, putting 100,000 mile on one.
Yeah, exactly. You're bringing it out when you need it or to mow the grass or whatever.
A diesel engine's going to run as long as, like you said, you do the maintenance on it. It ain't like a gas engine. Yeah, there's several people here close to me. They've got some of the old Ford tractors. You see them, and
well,
one
see,
guy down the road, he's got the Mahindra.
Yeah,
and he makes a lot of money on the side just doing little backhoe work and little jobs like that for people driving around here.
Exactly. See, I have a tractor. But see, I bought it at auction, and there's a lot wrong with it, I guess. But the front end loader worked, and it's I think a 68 or something like that, Ford Industrial 4000. It's a good It's a good size tractor and stuff. But when I bought it at a online auction or whatever, I went and picked it up. It drove. They proved to me that it worked whenever I got there. I paid $2,500 for it. Okay, and they loaded on the back of the flatbed that me and my buddy went to get it with. I brought it back here, started it up, got it off flatbed, drove halfway through the yard, and it died. Okay, and we got it started again, drove it, and it died, and then it wouldn't start back up. And when I took the it wasn't an alternator, it was a generator, I think. Took that, or maybe it was an alternator, I don't know. Took it off. My buddy had it tested. It was good. The battery was bad, I guess, but I put on another battery, but it still wouldn't do it. And then I had somebody come over, and the fuel tank is totally rusted on the inside, needs cleaned out. But he put it in a bucket of gas, the fuel line, and it started up and everything else. So, and there was a couple of things wrong with it, but I just don't want to drop more money into that thing. And so a guy said, I was offered $500 for it. I told him no. I'm like, I ain't selling it to that. And the guy asked me about it the other day. I said, well, I'll send, I said, somebody offered me $500. I said, no. He said, well, how much would you take for it? I said, I'll take $1,000 for it. And he's like, well, I think I might have somebody who wants to buy it, but I haven't heard from him yet. So, but I just don't want to drop money into, a 68 Ford Industrial 4000, which is a good tractor, but it's just not something I want to put money into.
Right. Sometimes you got to just cut your losses because you end up just throwing more good money after bad. And
yep, exactly.
I was about to the point with that on my pickup truck. I was spending so much. It's like, daggone, I could have put another motor in the thing. But then I keep thinking, I'm thinking about what a motor cost 5 years ago to what one costs today.
Yeah.
And sure couldn't buy a new vehicle today. I kind of mentioned that earlier. I don't know how people's doing it, paying $1,100 a month vehicle payments.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's almost my house payment,
Right.
Well, my house payment's I think $1,300. I'm not sure. My wife pays it, but whatever.
Well, our first place, our payment was $468 a month, I think, and that included the insurance and the property taxes was included in that.
Yeah, my insurance and property taxes included in mine, but mine's like I bought it almost 5 years ago, July, and it's like I think close to $1,300 or whatever. But the property values went from like we paid $89,000 for it, and for the 2.5 acres and the mobile home and all the permits and everything else, and now appraised, I think it's worth like 170, 180 grand, which is good and bad. Taxes are higher on it, but if you go to sell, you already got equity in it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, of course, that's when I first got out of the military and stuff. So that was a long time ago. The place we got now is paid for, but it's no mansion on the hill or anything. It was a mobile home at one time that we built around and turned into a house. My wife was aggravated with me when we was first doing this, and she's like, "Won't you just go borrow your money and get this place finished?" And I'm like, "What don't you understand that it's paid for? I can lose my job tomorrow, and they can't take her home.
Yeah.
Now we might have to burn candles and cook over a fire, but the house is theirs. It ain't going."
Well, see, that's the good thing with me. Even though we owe 83,000 left on the house, okay. So we were on a 23-year note, okay. But even though we owe that much, the thing is my disability I get from the VA every month pays that. It pays my house payment, it pays for the phones, and I think either the trash or the water. Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. After that, my money's gone. That's why I had to go back to work. Now, my son went to work, but still, he pays the TV, the cable, the electricity, and stuff like that. And after my money and his money, there's still very little money to do anything with, just barely food and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm tired of living like this and everything else. Plus, if something does happen to me or anything, I don't want Andrew and my wife to have to worry about it. That's why I want to get it paid off. Because
Right.
then all they'd have to worry about is the insurance and taxes at the end of the year and, just utilities.
Yeah, that's I'm hoping to retire in 3 years because
Hey, I'm hoping I retire again someday. I like the retirement. I like being able to stay up all night playing my games and go to bed when I wanted to and do what I wanted to and around here or whatever. Now it's like up at the crack of dawn and then getting home at, a lot of times, after dark or right before dark and stuff like that. And then Saturday and Sunday last week, I was working on stuff for the goats and everything. So it wasn't like I even had a day off to rest. I mean, when it wasn't there. And then every night, like I get off and come home and jump on somebody's live a lot of times or something, and I haven't done none of my stuff. And you can see my room here is a mess. I need to clean it up, but it's all about time.
Yeah, when I was working at the mines, I mean, I averaged 90 hours a week. Worked 6 days a week, 90 hours a week. And my wife's like, "Well, you ain't got no clothes. You need to get some clothes." I'm like, "I don't need nothing but LECO uniforms. I'm there 6 days a week. They give them to me already. I need one pair of jeans and a t-shirt for Sunday, and that's it."
Yeah, well, that's like me. I rarely buy stuff for myself. And like even shoes, okay? These are the newest shoes I have, and they're starting to come apart right here and stuff. These are lariats or whatever. They're cracked here and coming apart here. And I'll wear these, and a lot of times I'll have them flopping, and I won't even buy shoes. My wife will end up buying them for me or something like that.
Yeah, she always gets me new shoes and stuff at Christmas. And I know I can't remember what brand them are. Skechers.
Yeah.
I wore Skechers for years, but I swear the last couple of pair of Skechers I got, they're just not made like they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some I hadn't worn 3 times and stuff was peeling off of them and they're coming apart. It's like, I don't know where she got, or no, actually, my dad bought me them for my birthday, I think. And I don't know where, I told him, I said, "I don't know where you got them from." Well, from a main store. And I'm like, well, because I thought, they maybe was seconds or something. I don't know. But
yeah.
Yeah, they ain't nothing like it used to be.
Yeah, like these, like for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, I got to get some new shoes. And I keep putting it off, but whatever. Until, until it rains and my feet get wet and socks and, and I'm miserable, then I'll probably, get them.
Yeah, I put snow seal on my boots there last week getting ready for that survival course next weekend. That was the thing we did in the military, or whether you had them in the Marines or not, we had them old black leather gloves with the wool liners that went inside them. But
Yeah.
you could put that snow seal on them leather outer shells, and they make them
Well,
pretty much waterproof.
same thing with the field jackets, man. I mean, I love the field jackets, and if it wasn't that cold, but it's kind of cold, you take out the liners, and then if it was real cold, you put the liners back in. I love some of the stuff the Marine Corps had.
I know they wasn't issuing the Gore-Tex stuff to us at the time when I was in the Army, not to the unit I was in anyway. And I bought it out of my own pocket, and I liked that thing so good. And they finally approved us to wear the Matterhorn boots, which of course were Gore-Tex, waterproof. And I got a new mechanic in my unit, and I took him to clothing sales when he first got there. And I said, "No, you go inside that store right there, and you come out with a Gore-Tex jacket and a pair of Matterhorn boots." Well, why? I said, "Trust me, you're going to need them. We're out in the field in the mud all the time. It's raining all the time, and you ain't going to make it with that issued boots and that rubber rain jacket they give you." But yeah, I've missed a bunch of stuff on YouTube. I've got behind, and internet not wanting to cooperate, and busy getting ready for this show. I've missed a bunch of people's lives and videos. I tried to get some up today.
Have you seen the new stuff Jamie's doing? The dog tags and pens and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, you showed the dog tags on, I think, the last live of yours that I was on. She had the dog tags. Of course, I got one of your poker chips, and
yeah, the like business card she's doing. She actually did it better. She did it bigger because it's like a aluminum business card, and it's like that right there. But I kind of like that because it says visit me on YouTube at Devil Dog.
Yeah, I've got to.
Yeah.
I want that on their lives.
Yep. So what do you think of it?
I like it. Some people are into they collect these things and stuff, and people use them for different things. It'd be you could make them up kind of like a challenge coin to hand out to people.
Yeah. And then she's got the pens and stuff.
Yeah, the one thing I'm going to see how it goes this weekend. If I do pretty good at this show, that might be something that I'll continue to try to do. And if I do, I'm going to have to get me some banners.
And then she's got the new zipper pouches too. They're like kind of like the bank bags or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I've got one fixed up to use for that show this weekend.
Yeah.
That I usually carry stuff in one of my packs, but I wanted something to try to keep the money separated out as best as I can.
Yep.
And I got me one of them little metal cash boxes with a cable that you can lock it to the table with. And then I thought about it, and I said, I ordered me a counterfeit pen and with a.
Yeah. We used to have one of those, maybe still have it somewhere, but when we used to do trade shows, whenever I sold knives and she sold bath bombs and stuff.
Right. That was kind of my thinking, a gun show like that, probably a place where people would be trying to pass 50s and 100s, especially because they figure, people ain't going to be looking at them that close.
Yeah.
So I bought one of the counterfeit pens and it's got the UV light on the end of it, so you can scan it and see the security stripes and stuff in them. I just hope I sell enough stuff that I need to get that counterfeit pen out. But I've never tried this, so I don't know. It just be something to see and see how it works.
Yeah. Well, I hope you do good.
Yeah, me too. It might be a thing that anybody can get built up enough. That'd be another thing to do in retirement. Hello, budget preppers.
Hey, Natasha. Make that money.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be out more money than I'm going to make this first year.
Well, we did those trade shows and stuff for I don't know 4 or 5 years or whatever. And when we first started doing it, we go and set up on a Thursday, and it would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we'd break down on Sunday and leave. When we first started doing it, we'd make $1,200 to $1,500 a weekend in 3 days. And then at the end, well, after Harvey, one of the places we did was flooded. It lost so many vendors, and we were like on an aisle row by ourselves and stuff, and we lost money. Okay. So, and it was, I think, a couple months, it was once a month there. And so we like quit doing that. And then, this one over here, when we started, there was like 3 knife vendors and no bath bombs or whatever. When we left, there was like 7 or 8 knife vendors and I don't know how many bath bomb vendors and stuff. And we would like spend a weekend and make like $20 after gas and booth space and everything else. So we stopped doing it totally. We're like, it ain't worth it no more.
Yeah, and it's definitely going nuts out there, Natasha.
But your stuff might sell pretty good.
Well, I've got a mixture of stuff. I know the reloading stuff will sell.
Yeah.
This particular show. Some of the items, the fire starting kits and stuff like that, I don't know that they'll sell real well at this one, but the one in the spring, I think I'll need a whole lot more than what I've got on hand right now. That's been my problem. I've tried to order the things from Amazon to make the things with, and one shipment got lost. So they refunded my money, and then I ordered it again, and now it's got lost again. It's supposed to be here today. I'm like, I'm about ready to just give up on it. Maybe
a lot of times what happens though, and this happened with DJ, this happened with us before and stuff like that. You get your money back, and then in a few days, few weeks or whatever, it'll actually show up.
Yeah, I've had that happen one time. But yeah, this one shipment ain't never showed up or nothing, and it got lost on their end. And then this time it made it to one of their places, which was supposed to send it on to the post office, and evidently they turned around and sent it back to the main warehouse. So I don't know if I'll have it in time or not. But I've gotten enough on hand, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I hope I don't have enough on hand, really, but
you hope you sell out.
That's for my survival course. I field stripped it down. I don't know if y'all did that in the Marines or not. Field stripped MREs, get rid of all that packaging and stuff, and make that thing about half the size and about half the weight.
Well, how many do you have to carry? Because they would only give us, I think, like 3 at a time or something like that.
Yeah, I was where I was NCO. I had one of them old Chevrolet pickup trucks. I actually carried them around by the cases in the back of that truck, and I had a Chevrolet truck and a deuce and a half assigned to me with drivers. And of course, a lot of times we get out there, we had a field kitchen that went with us, but it'd take them 14, 16 hours to get that thing set up and fix something.
Yeah, and Natasha said theirs was rationed too. That's how ours was. Ours was rationed pretty much.
And those guys would come to me wanting MREs. Give us some of them MREs. I'm like, I can't. I signed for them things, and I have to turn many cases back in when we get back. But yeah, that was a little trick that I'd learned. It might have been some of the Special Forces guys showed us that one time, but about field stripping them down. But I know everybody used to talk about, oh man, them things are good. I'm like, yeah, throw them out there under a truck and let them lay out there for about 6 months, and then go open it up and start eating it and tell me how good it is. Then don't take it in the house and heat it up in the microwave.
Well, there was certain ones that I liked and certain ones that I hated. Back then, we didn't have the variety that they do now. Like yeah. I hated the block of ham. I hated omelets. I hated corned beef hash. Let's see what else. But then there were some that I liked too. I mean, like stroganoff was good. And
Yeah, I had a case of them here, and that was the bad thing. I opened up that case and started going through them, and over half of them was in vegetarian meals, you know. And it's like, gee, oh, why don't they? I guess they.
I don't think they have vegetarian meals when I was in. I don't remember any.
Yeah, we had the old. Hello, D. Welcome in. He's a big gun sportsman show this weekend, D, in Knott County.
Oh yeah, Sketty was good. Yep.
And yeah, when I first we had the old dehydrated pork patty and dehydrated beef patty. It's kind of like chewing on a dog biscuit.
Yeah. Well, I use Tabasco on all of mine because we used to have those. Every MRE used to come with a little bottle of Tabasco, and I use that on all of them.
Yeah, that's the show this weekend, D. It's probably about an hour drive for you, or a little over an hour. Maybe might be too far. You might not be interested, but it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But yeah, I don't care much about them vegetarian ones, Natasha. I got let's see. This is chili and macaroni, and I've got a beef ravioli laying here, and brisket.
Brisket? Holy cow!
Yeah, I don't know. I never tried that. I'll have to see what that is.
It's probably more like beef jerky.
Well,
all dried up.
When I stripped it down, you know, it felt like it was slices of beef in a package. I don't know.
Huh.
And one of them actually had a piece of beef jerky in it.
Yeah.
Sealed up in a pack. Okay, D. Yeah, just let me know if I can do that sometime. I'll be glad to. I know I checked you out, and unless I just ain't getting the notifications, that you ain't been up on the live in a little bit, have you?
I'm tired, D. We had just finished the job, and I seen Gary was live, and I jumped in his live on my phone, and then I just got home. I said, I'm home now, and then he put this link up. So I told Jamie, I'm like, I'm gonna go into the other room and get on here for a bit.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be a lot better, Natasha. Make them yourself. I buy a lot of the Mountain House, the freeze-dried meals, and then a lot of the stuff I'm getting now is from that Aftershock Preparedness. I really like their stuff. Some of them are definitely better than others, but.
Well, see, honestly, I probably shouldn't eat most MREs because the diabetes part and the sugar content, because I know MREs, you know, are a lot of calories because when you're out in the field, when you're hiking and everything else, you need those calories and stuff like that. And she's been asleep since 4:30 and she just woke up to go to bed. Well, I hope you're feeling okay, D. But
since 4:30, I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. Be my problem. I know what Aftershock Preparedness, Eddie. I noticed on when I went over to their store and filmed a video over there and stuff, and that I haven't put up yet. A lot of they had gluten-free and all kinds of different freeze-dried stuff now for people that can't have gluten. She's probably got diabetic lines. She's a nutritionist by trade. So.
Okay.
Yeah, D. This Sunday or next Sunday, I wouldn't be able to. because I'll be at that show this Sunday, and the next Sunday I'll be at that survival course. But send me the email and we'll get something together. It'll probably be 2 weeks though before I could do it. I'm kind of booked up at the moment.
Yeah, I'm booked up too, working. It's crazy.
But yeah, I've been talking to a bigger prepper channel. He's kind of agreed to come up on a live sometime for me. Hopefully that we can get that worked out. I think that'll be good. Just a matter of Wednesdays ain't a real good time for him is going to be the problem. He's got, I think, some kids in sports and stuff, and they doing stuff on Wednesdays, and he just can't really do Wednesdays. But we'll just have to see. If we can't work it out, that'll be all right too.
Oh, welcome back, Gary.
Yeah, he's supposed to be working, I think.
But he is working. He's here. That's Gary working on lives.
Yeah, I miss a lot of live. There's so many people go live through the day, and I'm at work, and I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, see, he's working and being a smart aleck too. Because I said that, and he said, I'm sure he never left because I said Gary. Like his name ain't Gary as well.
Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes. So. One of us gonna have to change her name, I guess. Yeah, Nadie, that show this weekend, and that's being hosted by Aftershock Preparedness over in Allen, Kentucky. They've got a huge line of freeze-dried foods and bulk foods, and they'll have most of their stuff will be there. And I've tried their stuff, and I've been buying their stuff. It's good. It's better than a lot of these freeze-dried food companies out there for sure. And their prices are comparable or better. Now, why would Belt Loop have an MRE? You have to send her the best one out of the box now, Gary. You can't send her the one you don't want to eat. But yeah, if you make it down there, Dee, stop by. I'll have a table there. We'll get to meet in person. There's Dee. I thought you was going back to bed.
Well, I was, and I got tired of typing, so. No. Harry and I have been discussing this whole, I've been trying to prep food for a while, and I can't do a freeze dryer. I do have a dehydrator, and I've been trying to think of stuff to dehydrate, but I want to dehydrate it properly. So, hello, Randy. I kind of got into looking up I was looking up the MREs, but there again, gosh, them daggone things are expensive. But
right, and one of the best and easiest ways is just to can your stuff out of the garden.
I've been doing that, but if
and
if I can survive on tomatoes, we're great. You know,
then you know where it came from. Well,
exactly.
I can tomato juice is what I do, and then that way, you know, you can do a lot of stuff with tomato juice as far as making different kinds of soups and stuff.
Yeah.
Growing up in Appalachia, you know, I think we had macaroni and tomato juice in it at least 4 times a week. But
Yep. Well, I've been, for the past 2 or 3 years, I have been trying to get in things that we eat. Just not just pop in
Right.
whatever the ground's going to hold. But um, I don't know on my garden. Like I said, I've done well on the tomatoes, but some of my other stuff just I can't grow a beet hardly to save my life. I mean, I got a quart and a half of beets out of 2 rows of beets. And that's two plantings. So, it's not, those aren't doing good. And we love beets.
Yeah, the biggest thing I don't know with beets, what helped me more than anything with them was thinning them out to where they was about 4 inches apart.
Uh-huh.
And that way they got size to them. If you got them too close together, it seems like they just don't get no size or nothing to them.
Yeah.
Which I definitely ain't no expert on beets. Something I just started a couple of years ago. My potatoes done real good. I always have good luck with beans and corn.
I didn't have any luck with corn, but I did buy corn. So I do have a bunch of it put up. My green beans one year didn't do very well, and I bought a couple bushels of green beans, and I got plenty of green beans. I did, man, if I could live on jalapenos too, hey, we're set.
But the freeze dried stuff, if you want to buy some of the stuff, the best advice I can give you is just buy like 1 or 2 packs of different types that you think you'll like, and try it before you buy a bunch of it.
Okay.
Some of them are, just to be honest, are nasty.
Hmm.
I know some of the Wise Foods, I've bought them before in the past. No, no, ain't going to go there. Now the Mountain House stuff's good that you see at Walmart and on Amazon. Like I said, the aftershock preparedness stuff, all the stuff of theirs that I've tried so far has been good. Some of them are better than others. And it just depends on your individual taste, really, as to what you want. But that's the big. I was talking earlier when I started this about mistakes that people make, and that's one of the mistakes that people make is they stock a bunch of food that they don't normally eat.
Yeah.
And then they don't rotate that stuff out, and then it ends up going bad anyway. That's why I say, one of the best ways is just can what you grow. I mean, it's stuff you want to eat anyway, and canning it makes it shelf stable. And
well,
regardless of what Ball says on their canning jars now, unless they've changed the formula on their lids so bad, now they just guarantee them for 18 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, I found a case of green beans that we'd stuck back in a closet that we'd canned 10 years ago, which I didn't. We ain't going to eat them, but I mean, looking at them, they look perfectly fine.
Did you open them?
No, I didn't open them. They're still in the jars, still sealed, but we didn't need them. I was going to dump the jars out and reuse them, but didn't need them this year anyway. And I said, well, they don't look nothing wrong with them as far as color and stuff. I think I'll just leave them alone. And,
well, I've been trying to tell Terry for, like I said, the past couple of years, who's going to hit the fan, and it's probably going to hit, sooner than what you think. And that's why I've been trying to grow the garden and try to can what I have, try to put back what I think that, that we need. I'm sure we're nowhere near prepared, but at least I do have a start.
Well, just having a start puts you about ahead of about 95% of everybody else out there.
Yeah. But that's what I want. If I want you to come on, if you can help people, it's never too late to start.
No,
if you don't, you're in trouble.
Well, and I mentioned that earlier. I think a lot of people's eyes got opened up after the pandemic.
Yeah.
When people couldn't go to the store and buy a roll of toilet paper, I think that opened some people's eyes up
Yeah.
on some things. And then again, like I said earlier too, I hope when they have my funeral after it's done, my son can say, "Boy, Dad sure was crazy having all this stuff around,"
Yeah.
rather than me sitting here watching family members go hungry because we didn't put nothing up.
Yeah. Well, my problem too is I don't have a lot of space to store. You know what I mean?
Right?
I don't have a basement. I don't have a cellar.
Yeah.
I live in a ranch house with a crawl space, and I may have to start putting stuff down in the crawl space. But,
Yeah. And that was actually my wife's idea. We had a door off the kitchen with a small porch on the back of the house, and she's like, "Won't you make that into a pantry?" Well, I really hadn't thought about that. We've got definitely more doors and exits out of the house. That ain't a problem with that. So
Yeah.
that's what I ended up doing. And one of the best ideas she ever had. And she actually, she loves it. That's her grocery store now,
exactly.
She just goes in the pantry and gets it and then tells me, and if it's something we need to replace, we'll pick it up the next time we're at the store. And,
I used to coupon, and when I say I used to coupon, I was one of those extreme couponers. And Terry'd say, "Do you have this?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. Go out to the garage and look in the store. I mean, see what's out there." I mean, I had it.
Eddie ain't gonna eat green beans. That ain't got no. It ain't got no hot peppers in it. But y'all talk amongst yourselves for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Eddie eats everything. Well, I don't eat bread or potatoes, but I mean anything that's not again. If I wasn't diabetic, I would eat anything. Okay, but because I'm diabetic, I try to stick to it.
Well, did you ever open up the box?
No, not yet. I haven't had time. I just got home tonight and I was on his live when we finished our last job. I looked at my phone and I seen Gary was live, and so I popped on. And then as soon as I got home, he dropped the StreamYard link. So I jumped up here, and I've been Saturday and Sunday. I haven't done no YouTubing, no work. I've been building stuff for the goats and everything else. I'm just beat. Yep. I can't wait till this Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully Sunday I can at least rest. I still got to do stuff for the goats. Because did you see Jamie's video of the goats?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, they're sweet. I mean, they're really, really cool. Yeah, hey, Ark Wildman Survival. But I'm just like, they love bread and they're so sweet. They'll come up to you and you pet them or scratch them. They just stand there and let you. They love attention. But Crystal's the little blackish one, and she is a bully. Okay. Our two goats that we had before, Lucy and Ethel. Ethel's the little one, the baby.
Yeah.
But our two goats we had before, if I put food out there, I got to put different dishes of food, because if Lucy or Ethel try to get the food, she butts them out the way. Or if they come close to her, she'll butt them. Ethel runs from her.
Oh.
But Jules, the brownish one, she's a sweetheart, and I think she's kind of taken up like a mama role, because she'll like play with Lucy, like headbutt her and stuff, but you can tell she's just playing, and Lucy's gotten used to her. Lucy headbutts her back and they play. And Jules and Crystal have always played around headbutted, but they grew up together, kind of.
Yeah.
Or, Jules grew up with, Jules is the oldest one, and she grew up with Crystal, so they know each other. And Lucy and Ethel, I think, are getting used to them and stuff, but Ethel still runs away. She's still a baby. She's still scared.
So how's Penny?
Oh, Penny's a brat. No, she's actually getting better too.
Oh,
I think it's because I feed her all the time, like my food, just like I do Gracie and Abby, and anytime Red's in there, I'll give them bites of my hamburger or my whatever I'm eating that they're allowed to eat, they can eat. Like Jamie was feeding Penny French fries last night, and she would take it and go back to the corner, and she was jumping and hopping around, and I mean, but I think they're getting used to me feeding them stuff like that. Like I was eating yogurt with like berries in it, like blueberries and stuff like that. And then,
Hmm.
because of the antioxidants, it's actually good for them. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, those kind of fruits. And so I was feeding Penny like a little berry with yogurt on it. So she's biting me still, but she's not biting me hard.
Yeah.
She's just kind of like barely biting. So I think she's getting better, but I haven't really had a chance to play with her much either. I get home and I'm beat. I'm
Yeah.
fixing to go make me something to eat, take my pills, and go lay down and go to bed. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I didn't even eat. I just went to sleep. Terry kept saying, "Are you sure you don't want some? Can I fix you this? Can I fix it?" No, no. I'm just tired. Just need to sleep. Hello, our Qualman Survival and my Chevy
From Wild
595.
Man and my 95 Chevy, welcome in. Appreciate you being here.
Oh,
I had to step out for a minute and help my wife with her medicine.
yeah. And yeah, I don't know who my my 95 Chevy. I don't know if I've seen that one before.
My 95 Chevy Type. Oh, are you on just StreamYard, or are you on YouTube as well?
Just StreamYard right now.
Okay.
I'm on my iPad.
Well, my 95 Chevy, you can type 45 in the chat and it'll drop your link.
Yep.
Cool.
The number 45. Don't spell it out.
And 29 don't work.
I'll pop mine in there. But yeah,
Hello,
I'm
CFM Rocks.
do what?
Got CFM Rocks is in here too. Says came from Devil Dog Share.
Oh, cool.
Hey, what's up, Rich?
Hey, CFM Rocks. I actually got in today where I've not been able to prepare much. Terry was wondering about dehydrated foods. So the other day before yesterday, I think it was, I ordered some, is it Angus Farms or?
August Farms.
Yes.
Yep.
I did get a 4-pound bucket of dried potato slices.
Yeah, I've got some of their stuff. I don't have a whole lot of the freeze dried stuffs. Like I said, we can a lot of stuff out of our garden. We've got a lot of freezers with stuff in it, but and I have extra canning jars and stuff available. So if the power was to be out long enough that I'd need to can that stuff out of the freezer rather than lose it, I could do that.
Yeah. See, Terry, he hasn't been too much on canning meats. Okay. And I'm like you, I've got 2 long totes of quart jars so that if anything does happen, I can put that in the can or put them in.
Now, if you haven't tried them yet, Dee, the Keystone meats that you get at Walmart that are canned are good.
What are they?
It's Keystone's the brand. They're out of Ohio, but they've got canned meat. They've got beef, chicken, ground beef, pork, turkey, but the pork and the turkey you can't find right now. It's kind of like everything else, but
I can find turkey. I got 4 of them out.
Yeah. What's that one's name?
Which one? Shallow, the mean one?
Yeah, that one. He'd go first.
Well, I got Patty and Shiloh. Well, the thing is he has just been protective because of the girls.
Yeah.
One of the girls is broody right now. She's laying on a bunch of eggs. And the other 2, they just run around laying eggs and stuff like that. And we're not gonna incubate them now, not till spring when it gets warmer. But if the one that's broody lays them, or hatches them, hey, that's good for her.
Yeah.
good for us too. Because, well, yeah, Patty and Shiloh, but we never really named the other two females we have.
But yeah, D,
All
we
right,
take
see you later, Rich.
Keystone
Later.
meat. You can take the beef and you just heat it, and we'll pour a can of beef gravy in it and pour it over rice or put it with mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And it's
See,
good.
he's
It's like
naming stuff. Gary, you're naming stuff I can't have. I can't eat potatoes. I can't eat rice.
We just have to eat the beef with the gravy.
Well, I can eat some, like, I think whole grain rice or brown rice or something like that.
Yeah.
But white rice I'm not supposed to eat.
Right. You got to
Yeah.
cook far out of that brown rice, though.
And the pork, we put it in a cooker and heat it up, and then just pour a jar of barbecue sauce in it and stir it up, and you've got pulled pork.
Okay. I will look next time I'm up at Walmart. I'll check it out.
And
But-
the hamburger, that's canned. Of course, you can't make hamburger patties out of it, but you can cook it in spaghetti or chili or anything like that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can find Keystone in the beer section all day long.
You and somebody else I know. Let's see, what was it? Oh, I like hickory smoked spam.
Yep.
And it's
I
go
like
ahead.
jalapeno spam.
I haven't tried that. But now I'm getting bad. I've been eating a lot more jalapenos other than cowboy candy. I'm getting on to it. But I went to Fat Patty's the other day and had a jalapeno burger.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. With some jalapenos, they're mild. They're
Yep.
mild as all can be, especially like, what's it called? Pickled jalapenos and stuff
Oh,
like that.
Love
They're
them.
mild. They're like jalapeno slices. There's something, I don't remember the brand or whatever. It's red. It's a red label at Walmart or whatever.
I can't see that. What is that?
Cheese
Cheese spread with jalapenos.
Oh, cool.
But here's the thing: most jalapenos don't do. Can you can beer?
You can empty the cans.
But the thing is like there's this little in the neighborhood here. They've made a little stand, okay, and they garden and stuff. And so on Saturdays, they have a sign outside on the stand with their PayPal and Cash App or Zelle or whatever else. And then they have a little metal container for money, and they use the honor system there. And so
Yep.
anything they get out of their garden, well, some of the stuff they get out of their garden, they put up there. And then they'll bake stuff like cookies and muffins and a bunch of loaves and stuff like that. And so I got these 2 boxes of jalapenos. They were good sized boxes or whatever. And I'll tell you what, those are some hottest jalapenos I've eaten in a long freaking time.
Huh.
I mean, I ate like 4 yesterday with my food, and it was lighting me up. I had to get some milk for it and stuff. I mean, if it was a contest, I wouldn't have got milk, but I like to enjoy my food with the spices and stuff or the heat and stuff like that.
And when
There's
I was
go ahead.
military and we'd go down to Mexico, Eddie, the salsas, it was the opposite of what you would think. The red was kind of the mild, the green was a little bit hotter, and the stuff that was kind of clear would set you on fire.
Hmm.
You would think the red would be the hot stuff, or to me it would be, but
Let's see.
But no, I can't can beer. But now there's some people here that I know that they do put stuff in mason jars. But
I got some of that. That
Hey,
we call that preservative, Gary.
D, are you
medicine.
D, are you going live Sunday?
Well, I plan to. I
What
always
time?
plan to.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes. There's hope. We've got a lot of stuff that we need to get done around here, and I'm hoping to. Yes.
What time?
5.
5. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be there because Texans play noon to 3. So I'm gonna try to be there, and if I'm there on Sunday, I will open up the box you sent me, and I'll probably do it on your live.
Hey, you can open that box anytime you want.
Well, I was gonna do it on my live last week, and somebody, anyways,
Yes, I know.
so I didn't do it. But
It's okay. I mean, you don't even have to do it on, as a mail call. You can just do it. Just,
see if I do it on your live, it'll work out. So
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I actually thought about you, Eddie, because even though it was the Tennessee Titans wearing them old Houston
ah,
Oilers, Atlanta the other day, where that boy from Kentucky played quarterback that nobody didn't want to take in the draft.
who's that?
I
Who was that, Gary?
That Will Levis that they kept saying he's going to be, one of the first 5 taken, and he ended up falling all the way to the second round, and then he threw 4 touchdown passes in his NFL debut
Yeah.
Sunday.
I hate the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, but they had Houston Oilers uniforms on.
I know what they had, and they never should be. Yeah. Bud Adams took the team and took all the rights and everything else, the uniform rights, the freaking Earl Campbell. We could not retire Earl Campbell's jersey, and he never played a single down in Tennessee. And I hate the Titans. That's my least favorite team in the NFL, followed by the Patriots.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch some videos too. I've seen, just little clips and stuff of DJ, with his Fraggle Rock gear on, but I ain't seen videos yet.
Speaking of Patriot, have you tried Patriots MREs?
No.
Because I was looking at them.
Yeah, my Patriot Supply, I don't know nothing about them other than, what I've seen. They're supposed to be good.
Yeah.
But like I said, the best advice I can give you is just buy one, in some of those places you can contact them and they'll send you a sample.
Yeah.
What they call a sampler kit.
Yeah. And that place in
are fairly cheap. Definitely try them before you invest any money in that stuff.
Okay. And you said the one in Allen, Kentucky is Aftershock?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I think I got it, but I'm not sure. There's a box on the TV tray in there, but I walked past it, went and talked to Jamie a second, and then came in here and got on here, but I don't know, honestly.
Did he finally send you that Shoney's silverware?
No, I don't know. He said he may have forgot to put it in there.
Maybe that's what's in the box.
I was wondering, because he gives you such a hard time and says you procrastinate on all this stuff, and then that's been a couple of months now, ain't it?
Yep, exactly.
Is that Skip?
Yeah, Gray Wolf Outdoors is Skip, yes.
Hey, Skip.
Yeah, he says go Cowboys, Eddie.
Yeah, I know what he says. I was ignoring that comment.
Oh. Did y'all get any flakes down there? Yeah.
There's some people posting it on Facebook said they seen some. I didn't see none. I waited, figured we might have at least my nieces would come by for Halloween, but we didn't have one trick-or-treater, so I got a whole bowl of candy in there to try to eat.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Bringing up rice and potatoes. Now you're bringing up candy. Why do I even come up here? To be tormented. Is any of it sugar-free candy, Gary?
Probably not. But I know you can tell by looking at it that the sizes have definitely got a whole lot smaller on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The price is about double.
Prices go up and the quantity goes down. Yep. Yeah, you're funny, Skip.
Yeah, now he's saying roll Tide.
Yeah, he knows that I don't like Tide either because I had an old boss, an old manager and she was all about Alabama and everything else, and you never would hear the end of it from her. And she's the only reason I don't like Alabama, because I didn't like her. So it's guilty by association, I guess.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm no Alabama fan either. So
Thing
my
is, I
Patriots ain't doing nothing, but
I really wouldn't hate the Patriots other than Tom Brady and Bill Belichick made me hate the Patriots.
Oh, everybody loves Tom Brady.
No, everybody don't.
Well, all the women do anyway.
Well, all the women,
I don't know
yeah.
why, but I don't think he's all that. But it's just me.
gas leak in the basement. That ain't good.
Oh.
Oh no.
But yeah, they definitely just send me an email there and jog my memory and remind me I'm getting gray and I don't remember stuff as good as I used to.
Yeah, I have CRS too. It don't even have to be on a Sunday. I don't care to go, just in an evening. That don't matter. People want to come and watch and be prepared, then they can come and watch and be prepared. Start getting prepared if you're not already starting.
You'd think that would be a cardinal sin right there for somebody in Missouri to say roll tide.
All right, see, these guys are trying to make me.
Yeah.
These guys are trying to make me leave.
I do too. That's to put all the stuff that I need to remember and I can't.
Come on.
Oh. Yeah, Eddie, I was going to give you a call this evening, or actually probably about 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, I ain't talked to Eddie, so I think I'll give him a call. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, you were asleep.
I was. It seems like I just have no energy anymore. I mean, eat good food, and I mean healthy food. Don't eat a whole lot of sweets. I take B12 shots, but it just seems like I just ain't got no energy. You get up, like I said the other day, you get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning now, and all you want to do when you get home is go to bed.
Yeah, I think it's just got more to do with getting older, D, than anything.
Oh, I know. I can
all go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to make fun of the older people when they'd go to bed at 8 o'clock and 8 o'clock. But heck, I'm right there with them now.
Yeah, I just happened to look over and see that these 21 likes, which there ain't no danger in us getting to 29, Eddie, but we will leave.
You get 28, let's call it.
I'm thrilled to have 21.
Well, I can do that after I get off here. I always forget to hit the like button until somebody says, don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah, I forget it a lot too.
Was it you that was, I think it was you that was on your live. It said you had 2 different emergency bags. Are you a volunteer firefighter?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I'm a certified firefighter, licensed EMT. I've got my bags broke down to, one for medical calls and one kind of strictly for trauma calls. It
right.
just makes it easier. And I know, they're different colors and different sizes, and it's just easier to grab the one, if it's a car wreck versus a medical call.
Yeah. That's my next thing. I'll have to go back and watch that one because, I've got uh, just, well, frankly, it's just like an oldie bag full of bandages and tapes and, things like that. But I need to get a prep bag together.
And then, that's just for, my medical, which I keep that at home. It's in my pickup truck anyway. But, and then, as far as I keep a small bag in my truck that I call a get home bag that I've got a video on. That's, normally most days I'm probably 10 or 11 miles from home. So I don't need a big full blown pack to try to get back home, if something happened and I couldn't drive home.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, if I travel further away from home than that, then I'll switch out to a different bag that's got more stuff to it.
Well, I gotta
Appreciate
know.
it greatly.
I've got to figure out what to put in the bag. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
and that's where you got to sit down and, basically you need to have a plan before you do any of the building the bags and stuff. Why do you need that bag and what do I need to put in it? Are you know, 10 miles from home or are you 100 miles from home? The distance from home and is going to dictate what you need in that bag.
yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking more like for home because here's what I think, and I may be wrong. And you never know what'll happen because in this world in today's times, it can hit any time. A lot of people don't think, like over in Israel, you don't think you wouldn't have thought that they would have come into people's homes and all these ARs and everything and just shooting up families. But who's to say they're not going to come to my area, and infiltrate my area? I need to make sure that I have stuff here at the house if something happens to take care of, me and Terry if we get hurt.
Right. And, the thing I tell everybody as far as medical stuff, and I've actually got a video on that, but everybody wants to buy these big fancy blowout kits, for gunshot wounds and think they're good and that's all they get.
Yeah.
But think about what's the most likely thing going to happen. And that's probably, you got cut trying to open a can of food or, kids or grandkids stuck their hand to the wood stove and got burnt.
Yeah.
uh, you know, yeah, a gunshot could happen. You don't never know, but is that the most likely thing to happen?
Yeah.
Uh, that's what you need to look at and kind of plan for. That's the thing is, if you get ready for one scenario that could happen, you're better prepared for about all of them that could happen.
Yeah.
And it don't have to be this doom and gloom and end of the world stuff that a lot of people.
Hi, Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Think, you don't have to be the doomsday preppers that was on TV.
Yeah.
But, there's natural disasters happen all the time. They've, especially it's been in the news a lot. Train derailments.
Yep.
Do you live close to the train tracks and might have to leave home a day, 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Eddie's area, hurricanes could be a problem. There's all kinds of natural disasters.
Yeah, we've actually been flooded and had to evacuate and everything else during Hurricane Harvey. We lost just about everything we had. We had to evacuate. I mean, water was coming up in our house, and we weren't prepared for that when it happened.
Yeah, and my 95 Chevy, that's kind of the thing, people say it ain't never going to happen here. But then you watch the news any at all, it's happening somewhere about every day anymore, seems like. Whether it's a train derailment. I mean, 2 years ago, Eastern Kentucky got washed away.
Yeah.
I mean, people would have never dreamed that we would have the flooding that we had in such a short amount of time. I mean, that
And
just
that
don't
was in your area. That was in your
right.
camp.
Yeah, that don't happen here. We have floods, but I mean nothing to that extent that a small creek that you could wade across in tennis shoes and it wouldn't come up over your ankles, turned into raging rivers
Yeah.
in 3 or 4 hours. Uh, that's the things I point out to people. I mean, if people 3 year ago would have said we's ever one crazy, if we'd have said, well, there's going to be a flu come out of China and
Mhm.
you won't be able to buy toilet paper in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And we're all going to have to wear masks and stay home, and we can't go to church, and we can't shop but in certain stores. And people say, "Well, you're crazy, you're a nut," but then it happened.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, like I said, I hope when they put me in the ground, people say, "Man, he sure was crazy, wasn't he?" But I kind of liked him. I hope I am wrong. I hope nothing ever happens. But I feel better about having some stuff available that if something does happen, that I can fulfill my responsibilities as a husband and a father to take care of my family.
Yeah. You always expect the unexpected.
Yeah, and that of course I'm sure the border stuff is worse for people like down in Texas and Arizona and that area. But I mean, about it's probably a month ago now, our local Walmart, I'm in there in Walmart, and there's two different groups of about 5 Hispanic males in their early 20s filling up shopping buggies full of groceries and household items, and they're all got new clothes and new shoes and stuff on. And I'm sure that was some that got moved up here from the border.
Yeah.
They ain't got nowhere else to put them. They're putting them all over the United States. And, kind of like, I mean, I seen somebody make that comment on one of the news shows or whatever, yes, some of these people probably are looking for a better life. But if it's that bad, where's their wives and their children? Why is it all these, young males?
Yeah.
You don't see all the women and the children coming with them because it's so bad.
Makes you wonder.
That's just like the guy that shot up the pool hall and the bowling alley the other night in a small town, or I would consider that a small town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure none of them people thought nothing like that would ever happen where they lived.
I got to thinking back when the first school shooting was, when all this kind of started coming to light. Do you remember when that guy went in Carter County schools and shot that teacher?
Well,
That was the first time I ever remember hearing anybody going into school and shooting anybody.
right. And I think part of that is driven by the media. I
Yep.
mean, they glorify this and it's 24-hour news coverage now. And, oh, this is the guy and here's his picture. And I mean, they're making these people famous.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if they wouldn't be better off to just never mention their name, never show a picture, just say an individual did this and he was a fool.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I went to school, well, I drove a pickup truck. I had a gun rack with a shotgun hanging in the gun rack because we was going to go squirrel hunting when we got out of school that evening. Nobody thought twice about that. Nobody thought about going in and shooting up their school or shooting their teachers or shooting church or, I just don't know what changed.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think it was all the media hype afterwards. And they just, it's just like everything else. If somebody gets, like you say, glorified for it, then they just take off with it. Notoriety.
It's like, after Columbine, you just started seeing more and more, and everybody trying to top what them two fools done at Columbine High School in Colorado that time.
Yeah.
A lot of it goes back, I think, we took discipline out of schools and everything else.
Yeah, we had a discussion about that the other day.
And I knew better to get in trouble at school because I'd be in 10 times more trouble when I got home.
Exactly.
Of course, they call that child abuse now, but
Well, back then we called it corporal punishment. So
oh, we
that's what they called it.
we had a teacher at grade school I went to that had a big old long wooden paddle that he had actually carved love into that paddle.
Yeah.
Now he would take his chalk from the chalkboard and he would color them letters in so it would stamp it across your behind when when he had to hit you with it. And nobody wanted to walk around school with love tattooed on their breeches for the rest of the day. So usually after he brought that first one up early in the school year in front of the class and had them bend over the desk, nobody else wanted any of that.
Yeah. Well, there's paddling and then there's beating. You don't want to beating, but you want it to sting a little so that you done wrong. So, but have been those that just they do get high on the punishment part of it. But
I'm,
like I said, I don't know that it killed anybody, and
and I'm sure that our parents and grandparents thought, when they was our age, sitting around, well, what's these generations coming to now? This world has
yeah,
changed so much. But I don't think it was nothing like what we got going on now.
yeah. Well, it kind of I call it the respect in you. You know, you had to respect the parents and the teachers more if you had the fear of getting the paddle. You were going to be a better person. You weren't going to do what was going to be bad. And
Yeah, and I mean, teenage boys went out behind the schoolhouse and they had their little fist fights, and then the next day they was buddies again.
exactly.
You wouldn't. Of course, I guess you could call it attitude adjustment sometimes, but
That's what we called it.
you know, people didn't take guns to school and shoot up the school or the church or the local bar or school or nothing else. I don't know, and I don't know what the answer is. But yeah, there's too many people that they consider that abuse now. 95, uh, you know, verbal abuse. Uh, Military changed a whole lot. What time I was in, I'd hate to see what it's like now.
Let's see what's in the chat. I think a lot of what drives a lot of, well, I don't know. I start to say a lot of people to do things they do is one is being bullied and not being able to stand up for themselves. And let's see here. How do I
Well,
say that?
I think there's always been bullying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say I was bullied some as a young kid in school, but I didn't think about taking a gun and killing everybody.
No, but nowadays instead of if somebody somebody is being relentlessly bullied to have to either one take their own life or two take the life of somebody else. And if somebody would take a hold of a situation before it gets out of hand, and deal with it, it'd be a whole lot better. But nowadays, I mean, I don't know. Everybody wears kid panties and they don't they ain't got no respect. They don't care about the other man or the other woman.
Yeah, 95, I remember if you was crying, you better shut up or I'll give you something to cry about with this one.
Yeah. Well, I remember the wooden spoons.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever got the wooden spoon. It was more along the lines of go get me a switch and you better bring back a good one.
Yeah. Or I'll go find one.
Yeah, you didn't want them to go pick it out. Them Hot Wheel tracks was the worst thing in the world.
Oh, I don't think I ever got one with Hot Wheel track. I don't think I ever got very many licks at all.
I didn't get many. I got I guess my share, but it didn't take many to educate me that I didn't want to do that no more.
Exactly. That's my point. They don't discipline kids anymore because, I even had one time thrown up at me. I'll call the police on you for child abuse. And I said, well, let me give you something to call them on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But, times have definitely changed. That's for sure. But it's 9:56. I guess in about 4 minutes, I'll probably call this a night. I definitely appreciate everybody being here that's came up on the panel. If you watch this on the replay later, I appreciate that just as much as being here tonight. It all helps me, and I enjoy it. We've had some good conversation tonight. I know some people's tired and people's worked all day, and they still showed up tonight, and that means a lot to me. And hope everybody does have a blessed week. And we'll definitely try to be back here next Wednesday night and do this again with the internet. Will cooperate with me. It seems to have worked good tonight as far as I can tell. It definitely wasn't cooperating last Wednesday night because I was just trying to do stuff to get ready, and I'm like, drop. I'm like, there's no way I can try to do a live tonight. If it's dropping like this now, I know I'm not going to be able to sustain a live. Maybe someday we'll get into the modern age in this part of the country and get good internet. And I'll try to catch you in Belt Loop there Saturday night, Eddie.
All right. Well, no problem if you can't make it.
Well, I'll probably make it, but it might be a little bit late. But I'll try to definitely be there. And then, like I said, Dee, just remind me, and we'll try to plan on in a couple of weeks me coming up on yours. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll be more happy to do that.
Is your email in your about page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's my channel name, Kentucky Prepper 5 at Gmail.
Okay.
So, yeah, you should have an email from me anyway, because I think I emailed you to get your address to send you a sticker. So,
okay.
And like I said, if you make it down to the show this weekend, I'll be at a table there somewhere.
Okay.
Actually, I got 2 tables, I think is what I've got.
If I can tear him away, we may just be down there.
Well, like I said, it'd be a good opportunity for you to pick you up just a couple of packages of some of the freeze-dried foods to try.
Yeah.
To see if you like them. And then, that's the thing I like about them. Yeah, they sell the buckets of stuff, but you can buy the individual packs and make your own bucket of what you actually like. So, you're not buying a bucket and getting 4 meals in there that you really like and a couple you might like and the rest of them you don't care nothing about.
Okay.
And Mark's trapping. And they generally, I don't know that she'll do that. She did that in the spring show that she had. She said set up her. She usually runs her stuff on a show special for like $10 a pack. Some of it. And you can buy 5 and get 1 free or 2 free, something like that. She'll have some kind of special, I'm sure.
Now, do they have a website?
Yes. Yep. Aftershoppreparedness.com.
Okay. Right.
But that's the other thing. See, buying them at the show like that, not only do you save a little bit of money because they're running show specials, you're not paying that shipping and handling, which will kill you on stuff like that. That's like these little fire kits I make. I'd love to sell them to people. I mean, I sell them for $8, but you know, people can't pay $8 for something, and then it costs me 10 to mail it to them.
Yeah. Well, Alan knows kind of
Well-
close. I can drive to Alan.
Well, let me say this as well. Are you just using regular post office or what, Gary?
Yeah,
Okay, you need to really. Do you have a scale?
yeah,
Okay, you need to check into Pirate Ship. That's
Yeah.
what Jamie. That's what Jamie uses. It don't save a whole lot, but it saves you anywhere from $2, $5, $10 every time you ship.
yeah. You know, that giveaway I done a few weeks ago, I probably spent
Yeah.
$100 in shipping and mailing.
Yeah, you probably would have saved $30 at least.
Yep.
Probably.
I learned that on my giveaways.
Uh-huh. And we tell everybody about it. A lot of the channels that do giveaways use pirate shipping. And as long as you got a scale, you can do the measurements. And especially if you're mailing overseas too, it makes the customs form a whole lot easier, and it's cheaper mailing inside the US or overseas, Canada, wherever. So, and it's pretty simple, I think. I told Jamie about it initially when I first heard about it, and she ignored me. And then several months later, she actually looked into it and actually used it, and it saves money. And you got a printer, right?
Yep.
Okay. You just print out the label, put it on the box. Well, you got to weigh it and measure it. Okay. And they might, if you don't weigh it or measure it accurately, the post office will charge you more or whatever. That's what that's for. Okay. But Jamie's never been charged any extra money because she weighs it and measures it correct. And then once you print out the label, put it on the box or whatever, and then take it off. You ain't even got to stay there to the post office. Just set it on the counter and leave, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they'll process it.
Or
Yeah, Mark Strapping type 45 in the comment there, and Nightbot will drop your channel link. That way, if anybody's that's here is not subscribed to you, they can go check your channel out. But yeah, and I you know, sent all that stuff. What I guess they used to call it first class mail or whatever they call it.
And I didn't even win it.
And it was quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, we've mailed out some packages before pirate shipping and stuff, and even with pirate shipping, some that are out of states are, they're pricey. That's why whenever we do giveaways now, we say U.S. only, because unless they want to pay for it, they want to pay for shipping up front or whatever, that's fine. But otherwise, like if she sells something, if somebody buys something in Canada or Australia or wherever, they're going to have to cover the cost of shipping, because we're not covering that cost. It's too dang expensive.
Yeah, that's like Canadian Family Life. Tiffany won that Amazon gift card. Well, it don't do her no good. She can't use it in Canada.
Oh, wow. She can gift it to me.
They have a different setup for Amazon up there. It's something else instead of, they don't have Amazon.com or whatever. So I just sent her the money and said, here, I'll just spend it. And I sent the gift card to
not to me.
No, I sent it to
Ruby Russian.
The one that was trying to get money to buy the hand warmers to send to the troops overseas.
Oh, that's cool.
So I just put it in an envelope, mailed it to them, and said, here, go to Amazon, buy $25 worth of hand warmers.
Oh, that's nice.
That's why I kind of like Gary's system. He just does PayPal.
Right.
And I think from now on, I think that's what I'll do is if I have another giveaway, because it sure saves on the shipping.
Yeah.
Right. Which I'll probably do one when I get fully monetized. But other than that, I thought about maybe just start doing them at random during live streams.
Well,
you won't know, but if you show up, there's Jerry.
Yep, that's what I'm kind of doing.
Hello, gentlemen.
I've seen you.
Bye.
How are you?
Oh,
I'm
Jerry.
good.
How are you, Jerry?
You're how are you?
I'm good.
Pardon me?
I said I'm good, but I'm a lady.
Yeah, yes, you are.
I was about ready to call it quits, but people keep showing up. That's good. We're at 26 lights now, Jerry. We do have to quit before we get 29.
Yep, I'm
we
leaving.
agreed on that already.
27 now.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later. Nice
Why?
seeing you, Jerry. But
It's not 29. Oh, it's 28 now.
Yeah, and I'm leaving before it hits 29. Gary's probably changing channels right now to hit the
Here,
light.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. There it goes back to 27.
Yeah, mine, it shows 26 on my end. So
There, I'll fix it. Now back to 25.
Yeah, there it is. 25. You're good. You got a couple more.
yes,
Hey, Gary. Gary's at work, so.
yeah, that was kind of a standard joke we had earlier, Jerry, that if it got to 28, we was going to leave so it wouldn't go to 29.
Now it's back to 26. We'll have to just jump it right back up.
27 is 27.
That's
He's
what I
going
said
to all of
last
his
time.
channels and hitting the like button.
Yeah.
So,
But
Maybe he'll just skip over to 30 and he won't be able to get a screenshot. So.
I was talking to Gary today, and he's been putting out a short an hour.
Yeah, he posted something up there. He didn't know that they would time you out for putting up too many.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't tell me that today.
that was yesterday. I think he's
Ah, he
he
told-
posted something up
we were
there.
on- we were-
He posted too many in one day. He was done for the
We
day.
were checking it all out and stuff. He's got one every hour for 24 hours. You know, but he has gotten the subscribers like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just,
Yeah, he mentioned that was earlier tonight. Bluegrass Trapper was in here, Enos, and that's how Enos got so many subscribers. I mean, he went from 900,000, and the next thing you know, it was 2, and then 7, then 8, and it was from shorts, just doing little short videos of trapping.
all right, my phone's gonna be off on Saturday and Sunday. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta go get something to eat and go to bed.
All right, Eddie, I
all right,
appreciate it.
Eddie.
I
Bye,
know-
Dee. Bye, Gary. Bye, Gary.
and it's greatly appreciated.
Not a problem. I'll leave this running. It's just not. I won't be here.
I'm back. I'm back.
What?
I got disconnected for.
No.
a
Well,
second.
maybe now you did. Oh no, you haven't. We still
It's
see you.
freezing.
You've been here the whole time. Yeah, it is freezing. Night, Gary.
Yeah, I
Or-
don't
yeah.
think it's my end. I think it is on Jerry's end.
Night, Mark. Yeah, he's froze. If I frozen, Jerry, I didn't know it was that cold up there, but anyways. It's so cold, Missouri, his internet froze. Oh, he's back. Dang it.
Yeah, I think they're
He's
supposed to
frozen
be a lot
again.
colder than we are tonight.
Well, right now it's let me see. It says it's 74, but I think it's colder than that. Hold on, maybe that was from earlier. Let me try to refresh.
What are y'all supposed to get the low to, Gary?
24, I think's what they're saying.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in the 20s here.
Come on, come up.
Got my firewood in. Terry doesn't get on the firewood. And,
Yeah, I started to build a fire in the stove, but I didn't because
well, I got the ashes out tonight from last year. And
it won't be long. We'll be wishing it's just warm, I'm sure.
yeah.
Now I'm back again. I think I don't know how long. We'll see.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Eddie.
Bye, Jerry.
Came back just in time, Jerry. He was trying to leave and you froze up.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell the problem is. Hey, Eddie, I wanted to tell you this. I'm able to do a live now in the shop.
Uh-huh.
I got this. Hang on, I'll show it to you. I got this. I got my internet guy came over and said the fastest I can do your internet for upload is 1.9. So he got me up to 1.9. And Gary, I contact that company and they never contact me back. I mean, they contacted me back one time, told me what I needed. I wrote back to them several times and never heard nothing else. But anyways, he got me, told me to get this.
Uh-huh.
All right. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Extend reliable wired connection to every room. Yeah.
Okay. It works off your wiring in your house, off the
Oh,
cable
really?
of the cables of your house. So I put this, and this is the box. I put this in my one in my router, and I put one in my shop.
Yeah.
And I tried to connect. Well, it wouldn't connect because the shop is not connected to the house wiring. It's connected to the pole, on that meter, and the house has got wires coming in through. It didn't work. So I got an extension cord, plugged it into actually it was like 2 extension cords, plugged it in to the extension cord I had out on the porch for my ponds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Plugged it in there, ran it all the way to the shop, which is like 35, 40 feet. I got right to the door and I ran out of extension cord, so I got another one and another 100-footer, plugged it in and plugged this into the end of it, and I was able to get on my wife's laptop does not have Ethernet connector, so we had to get this adapter with the USB to hook the Ethernet into. But I did all that, and I did a live Monday from the shop.
Oh, cool. So,
and it was a really good connection. Never had any interruptions. Nobody ever said we timed out or anything like that, or they had spinning or nothing. It was like a solid connection. So I'm able to go out there now with the laptop, and I can do turning bowls and pens and stuff, and do it live out there. So that like Gary and you can come in and watch me make pens, and stuff like that.
Oh,
so,
cool.
I just gotta get the shop cleaned up now, so I can get it without falling over.
No excuses now.
Yeah, there's no excuses now, but I'm gonna do some live. But I called Gary today to say, hey, I can do this. When do you want to do a live? And he said, well, he's kind of busy, so it'll be a little while. It's okay, no problem. It gives me time to clean my shop up and get my lathes all put in there. And
why is Gary first, Jerry?
Well, because he's the one that started it to ask me if I do one for him on a live.
Well, he's busy. I'm not.
Okay, but he asked me first, so I had to contact him first.
No, you ain't.
You've been working. So
okay, well, he's busy. So when are we doing it?
It'll have to be like a Saturday morning. Are you working 7 days a week or 5 days a week?
No, 5 days a week.
And how do you like it?
I mean, the job itself and everything ain't bad.
Okay.
It's just Sammy's driving is horrible.
Oh.
He's the worst driver I've ever seen in my life. And the second thing is shut up, Gary. It is my turn. We are skipping you because you're busy. And the second thing is I'd much rather be retired still.
Yeah.
And have, staying up all night playing my games and waking up when I want to, doing what I want to, everything else.
Okay, here's something else for you to look at. Can you see very good here? Look at this. Look what I just got today.
The chair?
Yep. I got me a gaming chair with the extension of the legs that come out and put your legs up and everything.
Oh yeah.
I just got it put together. I like it, man. I love my other chair was falling apart, and every time I go to get out of it, it's kind of broken. It leans sideways. Yeah. So I said to Susan, I said, that's it. I get a chair with a high back, so I move my head back and not be strained. And it's got a vibrator in the lumbar. So it vibrates down here in my back. It's like, oh man. He said, you know what? You'll never get out of the chair. I said, well, I have to get out and go pee.
You see Gary over there. Nope, you shut up, Devil Dog. Nice chair, Jerry.
Yeah.
Don't matter, Devil Dog. Wait your turn.
Yep.
I'm third in mine.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do them all in one day if I can. It don't take that long.
See, Gary don't even have to be there, so that's fine.
Well, that's true. He could go. He has to be there to tell me which wood he wants. That's all. That's just know what he wants.
I'll tell you the rotten one, okay?
The rotten one. I don't turn rotten wood. It's too expensive. But anyway, I'm going to start doing some lives and bulls and stuff like that. So.
Well, you've seen my 2 new goats, right, Jerry?
I saw a picture of the goats, and I saw you running around. One goat was on the other side of the fence, and you were trying to fix something. I saw that. I was laughing. Matter of fact, you did it on live, and I was asking, what's that goat doing? Nobody ever, you or Jamie didn't answer me.
I don't know that she did she do a live?
Yeah, she was on live because I caught it on live, and you were out there chasing a goat. There's another side of the fence.
Oh.
So
Was he moving him? Is that the same one?
Yeah.
I think he was trying to catch him.
Well, that was Andrew trying to catch him probably, but yeah, we got a fenced in area.
Yeah.
Then we got a part that's fenced in to put the male in to keep him away from the
Oh,
females.
that must have been the male on the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is we don't, honestly, he can go out with all three of the girls, but the little girl we don't want. I mean, she's old enough to breed, but we don't want to breed her yet.
It's too small still.
I mean, she's only 7 months and she's small and stuff like that still. So we want to wait a little while longer before he gets to her. But one of them I put in with him in his pen in the barn, and she's a lot taller and fatter than him. And it was hilarious watch him trying. He would be headbutting her but I actually think he succeeded. I don't know, because one time he like almost fell over sideways.
Yeah.
He caught himself.
What gets me is some of the noises those male goats do. They come up around and go. Blah, 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 blah. It's like,
yeah, he was doing that outside, but then Jamie let the girls out or whatever, and not him. And he was like crying. And she heard him from in the house. She thought he got his head stuck or something like that. And she went out there. No, he was just trying to get to the girls.
Yeah. I read that last comment. Gary said that you could always keep a bottle in your. I'm trying to, what, a bottle? What? And also it just dawned on me. No, I don't want have any slip up and get any on the chair.
Yeah, in that old broke chair. Oh, well, not this one, but in the old broke one, he'd probably try to use it and fall over sideways.
Like the old broke one, I almost broke my knee on it because I couldn't start to stand up, and it just collapsed on me, and my knee was trying to hold me up, and it was hurting like crazy. So he said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I could take it out and weld it and see if I can weld that section back together because it cracked around an old weld they had on there. So I can weld that." I said, "But I think I just need to buy myself a new chair." So
you've been hanging out with the Al Chafe too long.
No,
buy myself a new chair.
I mean, yeah, I bought myself a chair. It came out of my operation money, so my farm operation money. So it didn't come out of her money at all, which is my paycheck.
And he froze after my paycheck.
That's because she unplugged his internet.
She was turning the internet off on him.
Yeah, she was talking. He was talking about her, so she Susan unplugged the Wi-Fi. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm hungry and tired and everything.
Me
else,
too. I'm going to sleep.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem, Gary. I will see y'all later.
Later, Eddie.
All right, bye, D. Bye, Jerry. If you can still hear me. Bye, Gary and Gary. Kentucky Prepper and Bellevue 29. Anybody else over there, Mark or whoever? All right, guys. Later. Semper Fi.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see the chat, but everybody have a good night. Gary, thank you for letting me come up.
No problem.
Okay. I will be getting a hold of you, and who knows, I may see you this weekend.
Well, like I said, if you're down there, stop by. We'll chat and meet in person.
All right, honey. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Yep, everybody's leaving, so I think that's a good time for me to call it a night as well. I appreciate everybody that came by, came up on panel. I think we had a good time tonight. We'll do it again next Wednesday night. If you didn't make it in tonight and you're watching this on the replay, thank you for that as well. Also, if you don't care, hit the thumbs up button, leave us a like, leave us a comment on the replay. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Good night, everybody. Have a blessed night and a blessed week. We'll see you next Wednesday night.